The luck is against the sky, the beginning backfires. And kills the chat group owner. Overwhelming luck. The chat group leader gets backlashed to death at the start. Author Wadianja. The protagonist, Lin Qing, transmigrated and was reborn into a parallel world, receiving a gift from his mother planet, giving him overwhelming luck. Everything he did went smoothly and successfully. Right after graduating from university, he had already achieved financial freedom and become a winner in life, able to just lie flat. But life without goals was too boring, and he quickly grew tired of it. Open black lens bracket ding. Congratulations, you have joined the Myriad Realms chat group. Close black lens bracket. Lin Qing. Oh, this is great. As expected, my overwhelming luck isn't limited to just this world. Open black lens bracket ding. Regrettably, you have been kicked out of the chat group by the group leader. Close black lens bracket. Lin Qing. Open black lens bracket. The transmigrator group leader, who was pretending to be a god, discovered your background. Introduction. Upon joining the group and wanted to kick you out. The enmity of obstructing your path is irreconcilable. The group leader suffered a backlash from your luck and died instantly. The chat group, in order to appease you, directly recognized you as its master. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ding. The group leader, omniscient and omnipotent Li Daxian, courted death by kicking a person with overwhelming luck and suffered a terrifying backlash from luck, resulting in death. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ding. Congratulations to the new group member, overwhelming luck, for joining the chat group. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ding. Congratulations to the group member, overwhelming luck, adult, you have become the new group leader. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Other group members. Close black lens bracket. Chapter 1. Wishes come true. The group leader who courted death. New book, please. Collect. Flowers, reviews. Open black lens bracket. You have transmigrated and been reborn, receiving a gift from your mother planet, giving you overwhelming luck. Close black lens bracket. Alas, if only I could gain the ability to go to other worlds. Lin Qing, who had already become a winner in life, sighed boredly while half lying on his office chair. Lin Qing, a transmigrator. Having transmigrated and been reborn into this ordinary blue star world for 21 years, he found that his luck was overwhelming, and everything came easily to him. He would always have inexplicable epiphanies when learning things, and he learned everything quickly. It was as if knowledge was actively and frantically drilling into his head, and inspiration was endless. With everything going his way, he had already achieved financial freedom right after graduating from university and become a winner in life, able to just lie flat. But life without goals was too boring, and he quickly grew tired of it. This day, open black lens bracket ding. Congratulations, you have joined the Myriad Realms chat group. Close black lens bracket. Oh, hearing the sudden system prompt in his mind, and the light screen appearing before his eyes, Lin Qing was instantly jolted. He abruptly sat up straight, his eyes fixed on the light screen before him, and said excitedly, "Whatever I wish for comes true. It seems my overwhelming luck is still as powerful as ever." However, the next moment, open black lens bracket ding. Regrettably, you have been kicked out of the chat group by the group leader. Close black lens bracket. The system prompt sounded again, and then, as the prompt ended, the light screen instantly disappeared. Lin Qing, what the heck? However, he wasn't particularly angry. Instead, he stroked his chin with a playful expression and muttered, "Tisk tisk, it seems this group leader fears my appearance." If I'm not mistaken, the group name of that group leader I just glimpsed was Omniscient and Omnipotent Li Daxian, right? Tisk, such a familiar routine, a deceptive group leader. No wonder he was in such a hurry to kick me. However, you, kid, are in big trouble. You see, ever since he was born in this life, his luck has been overwhelming. The effects it brought, besides having his wishes come true and being spoon-fed by heaven, were that anyone who harbored hostility, malice, or even killing intent towards him, and wished him ill, would suffer a backlash from his luck, becoming extremely unlucky and experiencing continuous misfortune. The greater the malice or hostility, the greater the degree of harm to Lin Qing, the smaller the difference in strength between them and Lin Qing, and the lower their own luck, the more severe The backlash. In severe cases, instant death and the extermination of their entire clan were not surprising. Now, this damned group leader kicked him out, which was equivalent to cutting off his wish. The enmity of obstructing his path was irreconcilable. I just don't know if my overwhelming luck can affect other worlds. Lin Qing stroked his chin, full of anticipation. Judging from the fact that he joined the chat group just by wishing for it, it's highly likely, right? A few seconds ago, in the chat group, open black lens bracket ding. Congratulations to the newcomer, overwhelming luck, for joining the chat group, close black lens bracket. A newcomer has arrived. Chat group, why did you invite a newcomer without my permission? The group leader, Li Tian, suddenly received the notification of a newcomer joining the group. And immediately frowned, questioning the chat group in his mind. Normally, inviting a newcomer required his operation and his consent. At least, that's how he had set it up. Because he didn't want newcomers beyond his control to appear and disrupt his deception plan. But the chat group didn't respond to him at all at this time. Overwhelming luck, what an arrogant name, let me see who you really are. While complaining and being dissatisfied, Li Tian quickly opened the chat group interface and used his group leader privilege to check the newcomer's background information. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket world. Blue star close black lens bracket. Blue star, not good. Li Tian's face changed dramatically when he saw this basic information. As a transmigrator, his previous life was also from Blue Star. Isn't this newcomer from the same world as his previous life? Or is it a parallel world? Then isn't it highly possible that he also knows the future of the other group members? No matter what, the world he is in is very likely to have novels about the group members. If I let him join, won't I be exposed? How can I still deceive the group members and gain benefits? Therefore, Li Tian didn't even think about it and directly kicked Lin Qing out of the chat group. Without hesitation, the entire process took only about 2 seconds from the moment Lin Qing joined the chat group. At this time in the group, open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket, A newcomer is here, welcome. Open black lens bracket Busujima Seiko close black lens bracket, welcome. Open black lens bracket Feiyan close black lens bracket, welcome, newcomer. Open black lens bracket Kocho Kanae close black lens bracket. Oh. A newcomer is here. Welcome, welcome, newcomer, please introduce yourself. The group members were all alerted by the information about the newcomer joining and started speaking up. As a result, the next moment, open black lens bracket ding. Group member, overwhelming luck, has been kicked out of the chat group by the group leader omniscient and omnipotent Li Daxian. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun, close black lens bracket. Group leader, what's going on? Why did you directly kick the newcomer? Again, open black lens bracket Kocho Kanae close black lens bracket, yeah. Is there something wrong with this newcomer? Feiyan, seeing this abnormal situation, narrowed her eyes slightly and didn't speak in the group. She felt that there was something fishy about this matter. She already didn't trust this so-called omniscient and omnipotent group leader very much, and now her doubts were even deeper. What kind of newcomer could make a group leader who claims to be omniscient and omnipotent so eager to kick him out of the chat group? There was always a sense of trying to cover up something. Open black lens bracket omniscient and omnipotent Li Daxian close black lens bracket, that's right. According to my calculations, this person is an extremely evil person and does not conform to the purpose of our chat group, so I kicked him out. You don't need to worry. Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket, an extremely evil person. However, just at this moment, the group leader's avatar suddenly dimmed, and the group notification sounded again. Open black lens bracket ding. The group leader, omniscient and omnipotent Li Daxian, courted death by kicking a person with overwhelming luck and suffered a terrifying backlash from luck, resulting in death. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ding. Congratulations to the new group member, overwhelming luck, for joining the chat group. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ding. Congratulations to the group member, overwhelming luck, adult, you have become the new group leader. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Other group members close black lens bracket. Hiss. What's going on? Yu Bukchun and others in different worlds felt a chill down their spines at this moment. What the heck is going on? The old group leader was backlashed to death across worlds just because he kicked a newcomer. And the newcomer became the new group leader. Is it really this casual? Didn't the old group leader claim to be omniscient and omnipotently Daxian, with heaven defying strength? 0. The result is this. Where did this newcomer come from? How could he be able to attack the old group leader from across the world? So terrifying. Also, Mr. Lucky Man, and so on. Why does this group chat smell like a dog licking? Lin Qing. 3 seconds after being kicked out of the group chat, open black lens bracket. The master of the time travel group, who pretended to be a ghost, found out your background. Introduction. When he joined the group and wanted to kick you out. The hatred for blocking the way is irreconcilable. The group master suffered a backlash from your luck and died suddenly. In order to please you, the chat group directly recognized you as the leader. Close black lens bracket. Oh wow, it really works. That's amazing. Lin Qing received the talent hint that emerged in his mind, and the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. Sure enough, his luck and talent are not limited to this world. At this moment, the previous group chat system prompt sounded again. At the same time, a familiar light screen appeared in front of Lin Qing again. Open black lens bracket. Ding. Congratulations on joining the Wanji chat group. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Ding. Congratulations to group member, Qian Nishan, you have become the new group owner. Close black lens bracket. At the same time, a large amount of information about the group chat flooded into Lin Qing's mind and was quickly digested by him. P.S. New book uploaded, please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 2. Chat Group from the Heart, European Emperor Lin Qing. New book, please collect flowers. Soon, Lin Qing opened his eyes and showed a playful look on his face. Tisk tisk. Interesting. This chat group is quite sensible. Perhaps it was out of instinct, because they sensed danger. This chat group did not dare to use their own power to protect the old group leader when the old group leader suffered backlash. He even chose to completely ally himself with Lin Qing, a man of extraordinary luck. Immediately after the death of the old group leader. This is the best option for him. Following a person like Lin Qing, are you still afraid that you won't be able to rise in the future? In addition, this group chat follows its instinct to learn from its mistakes and this time automatically adds the original destiny trajectory of new group members. From now on, every new group member will be able to learn about his or her past and future destiny from the personal information panel from the moment they join, so as to prevent the emergence of stupid newcomers who might offend Lin Qing. He doesn't want to be unlucky. Lin Qing checked it out and was not surprised to find that this group chat really could not reveal his own past and future, but the past and future of other group members were revealed. Very good. In addition to this, add some introductions and verification procedures for group chats to avoid newcomers being suspicious. Lin Qing immediately gave instructions to the group chat. Open black lens bracket. Ding. Yes, your will. Close black lens bracket. Immediately, the group chat proactively added a group announcement for new members. The next moment, everyone in the group chat received a new group announcement, and everyone was stunned. Open black lens bracket. Yu Bukchun. This is actually like this. Let's not talk about it for now. I'm going to check my own fate first. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Fei Yan. Close black lens bracket. Ditto. Open black lens bracket. Bukujima Seiko. Close black lens bracket. Same. Lin Qing saw it, but didn't care and continued to familiarize himself with the various functions of the group chat. Currently, the group chat has opened 6 functions, including group red envelopes, sign in, group lottery, group member storage function, time travel, and group mall. As for the group members, there are currently Yu Bukchun, Feiyan, Busujima Seiko and Kocho Kanae. Are they actually people from these 4 worlds? That's quite interesting. After that, maybe I can try to acquire the inner strength of Yu Buchan's world and the martial arts of Feiyan's world, and start my extraordinary journey. Lin Qing pondered in his heart. A few minutes later, group system, sign in, open black lens bracket. Ding. Group leader Lin Qing signed in successfully and received 100 points. Close black lens bracket. The next moment, the group members were startled and jumped out. Open black lens bracket Kanae Kocho close black lens bracket. 100 points. Isn't the highest point for this sign in 10 points. Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket. That's what I wanted to ask too. The upper limit is 100. Then why did we never sign in more than 10 times before? Is it because of the god of bad luck? Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket. I'm jealous. The group leader is indeed the one whose initial group name is Lucky Fortune against heaven. This luck is truly against heaven. I envy him. Open black lens bracket Bukujima Seiko close black lens bracket. 100 points. You can buy a time travel talisman. By the way, I haven't welcomed you to join the group yet. Welcome, welcome. Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket. Yes, yes. Welcome, group leader. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket. Welcome. Open black lens bracket Kanae Kocho close black lens bracket. Alala. Welcome, group leader. Please hug me. This person is able to retaliate against the old group leader across the world. The key is that the person who can make everyone in the chat group flatter him must be very powerful. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. Haha. Thank you everyone. Don't be so reserved. I'm just an ordinary person. It's no big deal. Relax. After hearing this, several group members immediately looked upset. Can an ordinary person retaliate against the old group leader from across the world? Can ordinary people turn a chat group into a bootlicker? I don't believe you. However, they did not say these words out loud. Since the group leader likes to keep a low profile, they naturally try their best to cooperate. God knows if I cause dissatisfaction from the group leader, will I be unlucky or even lose my life? Due to the backlash of his luck, it's better to be careful. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. By the way, have you all read the trajectory of your own destiny? Do you have any thoughts or questions in your mind? Also, we can actually check the fate of other people. Of course, the group chat will automatically block sensitive information to protect the privacy of group members. I suggest that everyone take the time to look at the fate of other group members and learn more about them to facilitate future communication and mutual assistance. Relying on his incredible luck, Lin Qing believed that he would be able to rise rapidly through group chats, and he would not have to rely on fooling people to gain benefits like the old group leader. Therefore, he was very satisfied with this group chat arrangement. Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket. What? It can actually be like this. Group master, can this function be turned off? Lao Yu's face flushed red at this moment. If possible, he didn't want others to see the trajectory of his destiny. It's not out of any other selfish motives, I just don't want to die socially. Before this, only he and the old group leader knew about the fact that he had cut off his family ties. The old group leader also used this as a bargaining chip to obtain the Zixia magic skill and several martial arts secrets from him. If all the group members knew about this now, I would be so embarrassed. Ha! When Lin Qing heard Yu Buchan's words, he immediately laughed. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. No way. Open black lens bracket butterfly Kanae close black lens bracket. Ah. Why do I feel like you want to hide something, Master Yu? Come to think of it, ever since you joined the group chat, you and the old group owner have been acting mysterious and even made a deal. It seems like something happened in your future that you don't want us to know about. This makes me even more curious. I'll go check it out now. He. However, it is somewhat unethical to pry into other people's privacy. But it is mandatory for group chats, and she cannot hide her own future either, so she has no psychological burden. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket. Ditto. I'll be back soon. Open black lens bracket Bushima Seiko close black lens bracket. It is recommended to use the quantum reading function, which can obtain all information instantly. Also, at Lin Qing, group leader, can I ask, is it true that the end of our world cannot be avoided? At this moment, her face was full of bitterness and fear. Obviously, she has seen the future destiny of herself and her world. Faced with that hopeless future, she felt cold all over and was totally unable to accept it. According to the trajectory of fate, In half a month, the zombie apocalypse in his world will break out completely. If possible, she would like to change all this. Open black lens bracket Kanae Kocho close black lens bracket, the end of the world. It sounds scary. Let me see. The other group members were also attracted and immediately used quantum reading to check the fate of Busujima Seiko. Hiss. How miserable. After watching it, several people couldn't help but gasp, their eyes full of fear. Open black lens bracket Kanae Kocho close black lens bracket. This doomsday is much worse than the demon disaster in our world. I never thought your world would be like this, Seiko. I envied your world for being so peaceful and beautiful. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket. Indeed. Such a beautiful and strange future world actually fell into such a desperate future. Sir, do you have a way to change this? Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket. Same question. Lin Qing looked at it and felt helpless. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. Didn't I say that? I'm just an ordinary person. At least, that's the case for now. At most, I am just a little bit unlucky. The world I'm currently in is just an ordinary world. It doesn't have the conditions for me to unlock extraordinary powers. So, I can't stop this zombie apocalypse. Of course, now that I have joined the group chat, give me some time to grow, it is possible in the future. But Seiko, there isn't much time left for the apocalypse to happen there, right? After hearing this, the light in Busujima Seiko's eyes dimmed. P.S. New book uploaded, please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 3. Yu Bukchun, The Social Death, and Fei Yan's Thoughts. New book, please collect. Flower and comment. Open black lens bracket Bushima Seiko close black lens bracket. Yes. There are only 15 days left. It seems that there is really no way out. But thank you, group leader. If you hadn't appeared, I would not know my future. Now, although I can't change the outcome of the doomsday, I have time to prepare. At least I can make better preparations and increase my chances of surviving the doomsday. Thank you. The old group leader obviously also knows the future of his world. Although the method is different from group chat, but the old group leader looked like a greedy charlatan. If he didn't pay enough, it would be impossible for him to get the entire future from him. Based on the conversations between her and the old group leader over the past few days, Busujima Seiko even suspected that the old group leader had actually been waiting for a doomsday crisis to break out in his world. Then, he can profit from it, right? This can be inferred from his tentative inquiries into the timeline of her own world in the past. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. You're welcome. This is all thanks to the group chat. It has nothing to do with me. Open black lens bracket Bukujima Seiko close black lens bracket. No. If it weren't for you, the group chat owner, there wouldn't be this new feature, right? So, I should thank you. Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket. Indeed. We and all future group members should thank you, group leader. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket. Agreed. When she thought about how miserable her future fate would be, she was not only deceived but also married the villain Yan Dan and gave birth to a child. She was even imprisoned by Donghuang Tai, and Fei Yan's eyes were filled with anger. Yan Dan, Donghuang Tai, you are all doing well. Just wait for me. In the future, I will make sure you guys look good. Fei Yan thought hatefully in her heart. Now that you have insight into the future and have joined the group chat, your destiny will be completely changed. She must never allow herself to return to the same situation again. However, now is not the time for her to act impulsively. You have to accumulate strength first. When her strength in the future far exceeds that of Donghuang Tai, that will be the time for her to fight back. As for the 7 stars of the Azure Dragon, in Fei Yan's eyes at this moment, it is not so important now. Open black lens bracket Kanae butterfly close black lens bracket. Thank you, group leader. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. Seiko, you don't have to be so pessimistic. With group chat and everyone's help, you don't have to worry about your future even if doomsday breaks out. Also, although the world I live in is currently just an ordinary modern technological world, I do have some experience in biological research. Also, I have a relatively advanced biotech company under my command. When the virus breaks out completely, you can send me some virus samples in a red envelope. I can try to research it. It shouldn't be difficult to come up with an antidote and a virus vaccine. Any research related to probability is a simple matter for him. Just trying it once is enough. Twice is redundant. The luck is against the sky, it's so awesome. When Busujima Seiko heard this, her expression was shocked and hope reappeared in her heart. Open black lens bracket Bushima Seiko close black lens bracket. Master, is what you said true? Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket, of course. I wouldn't lie to you about something like this. Open black lens bracket Bushima Seiko close black lens bracket, great. Thank you, group leader. I'll leave it to you then. As long as it can solve the end of our world, I'm willing to do anything for you in the future. At this time, Busujima Seiko felt even more grateful to Lin Qing. At the same time, I also despised the old group leader even more. Compared with Lin Qing, the old group leader is really nothing. Open black lens bracket Kanae Kocho close black lens bracket, oh my. Are you willing to do anything? Seiko, you've exposed your inner thoughts. Busujima Seiko saw this and her pretty face turned slightly red, but she didn't reply. With Lin Qing's words, everyone temporarily put aside the crisis regarding Busujima Seiko. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket. At you Bukchun, sect leader you, no wonder you didn't want us to see your future. Before, it turns out that you will castrate yourself because of a secret book in the future. Tisk tisk, how miserable. Open black lens bracket you Bukchun close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Kanae butterfly close black lens bracket. I've also finished reading it. I have to say, sect leader you is a ruthless person. He has overturned my previous perception of you. However, this way of gaining power is not advisable. I don't recommend you to continue doing this. It's too harmful to your health. No one is complete anymore. Open black lens bracket Bushima Seiko close black lens bracket, Puchi. Hehe, ditto. Open black lens bracket you Bukchun close black lens bracket, that's enough. Can you please stop talking about this? These are just possibilities in the future, they haven't happened yet. Besides, I have already joined the group chat, there will definitely be better ways to become stronger in the future. For example, trading skills from you, Feiyan, is much better than practicing that damn sword. Manual of exorcism, how confused do I have to be to continue practicing this crappy technique? So, let's just forget about it and pretend it never happened. He now just wants to get over this matter as soon as possible. Who could have thought that the Lin family's sword manual of exorcism was so weird? Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket, haha. That's true. As for the trading of skills, I don't mind, but the value has to be equal. Forget it, I'll just upload it to the group mall and you can buy it yourself. When the old group leader was here, he often encouraged everyone to upload their skills and so on. But Feiyan had some concerns before and didn't trust the old group owner at all, so she naturally didn't rush to upload it. That's not necessary now. Open black lens bracket ding. Group member Feiyan put Soul Wandering Dragon on the group store and received 1200 points. Because it is a martial arts method, she can get half of the sales share later. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket bite. Close black lens bracket. Dot. After a while, dozens of prompt sounds rang out, and Feiyan put all the skills she could put on the shelf. After earning tens of thousands of points, I suddenly had plenty of points. Unfortunately, at present, there is no better use for points except exchanging for crossing symbols, but I think this thing will be very useful in the future. So, it's not a bad idea to put these skills on the shelves now. Feiyan thought with some regret in her heart. Of course, she would choose to upload what she had mastered, almost all the skills, and she also wanted to show her favor to the new group leader Lin Qing. Based on Lin Qing's previous words, it is not difficult to see that the world he is currently in is just an ordinary technological world and does not have any extraordinary powers. Not to mention the exercises. But with the group leader's incredible luck, from the moment he got the chat group and became the group leader, Feiyan knew that his rise was only a matter of time. Moreover, the speed of rise may far exceed one's expectations. If you don't show your goodwill now, will you wait until later? However, since it's a show of goodwill, let's be more thorough. Thinking of this, Fei Yan directly packed up all her skills and sent it to Lin Qing through a group. Red envelope. Open black lens bracket ding. Group member Fei Yan sent an exclusive red envelope to group owner Lin Qing. Please check it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Kanae butterfly close black lens bracket. Sister Fei Yan, what did you send to the group owner? Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket. Nothing. Just the techniques I just uploaded. Didn't the group leader say that the world he was in was just an ordinary world, without any extraordinary powers or skills? You may find these useful to me. You have enabled the predictive function in the group chat, so that I can know the future. Please, don't refuse. When Yu Bukchun and the others heard this, their eyes narrowed slightly, and they all thought to themselves, amazing, why didn't we think of this? The group leader is so awesome. If we don't try to please him now, when will we? Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket, you're welcome. There's no need to do this. However, I am really lacking in this area at the moment, so I will accept it first and repay you later. Having said that, Lin Qing chose to receive the red envelope. In an instant, a large amount of information and even insights about the exercises flooded into his mind. P.S. New book uploaded, please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 4. Sudden enlightenment and perfection in the future, please collect, give flowers and comment. Open black lens bracket You have acquired a large amount of skills, yin-yang techniques, and related insights. With great luck, you have a sudden realization. Close black lens bracket. The next moment, Lin Qing fell into enlightenment. He began to rapidly digest and comprehend the information on these techniques and yin-yang techniques, and quickly put them to use for his own benefit. They even began to draw inferences about other cases and come up with new ideas. In just over 10 minutes, his understanding and mastery of these skills had surpassed Fei Yan and reached a new level. Moreover, he also made adjustments and innovations based on his own situation, and forged a technique unique to him. He named it Wan Dao Ju. During the process of enlightenment, with Lin Qing as the center, within a radius of dozens of kilometers around him, the extremely thin vitality of heaven and earth in the void was absorbed by him and taken into his body to be refined. Allow his cultivation to improve rapidly and achieve breakthroughs. The early stage of body accumulation, the middle stage, the perfect stage of body accumulation, the first stage of acquired body, and kept improving until the perfect stage of acquired body accumulation. One had to stop because the vital energy of the surrounding heaven and earth had been drained. Unfortunately, the vitality of this world is too thin. I'm afraid that even if the vitality of heaven and earth around here is restored, it may not be enough for me to break through to the Shantian realm. Perhaps, I should take some time to visit the world where Fei Yan is. Lin Qing stopped practicing, opened his eyes, and murmured with regret. It stinks. Is this considered marrow cleansing and hair removal? I need to go wash it. When Lin Qing came to his senses, he felt that his whole body was sticky and covered with dark gray mud, which was extremely smelly. His brows furrowed immediately, and he felt his sense of smell was extremely impacted. He immediately stood up and rushed into the bathroom in the lounge next to him and started washing. Half an hour later, after washing 5 or 6 times, Lin Qing walked out of the bathroom feeling clean and refreshed. All over. Phew, I feel much better. I feel full of energy and refreshed. Sure enough, even though he had such great luck before, he still inevitably suffered a lot of damage to his body. Now, after this training, the damage has finally been eliminated. Thinking of this, Lin Qing opened the group chat again. Open black lens bracket ding. Group member Yu Bukchun sent an exclusive red envelope to group owner Lin Qing. Please check it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ding. Group member Butterfly Shanae sent an exclusive red envelope to group owner Lin Qing. Please check it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket. At Lin Qing, group leader, this is a small gift from me, please accept it. Although you already have Miss Fei Yan's skills, these are probably of no use. Open black lens bracket Kanae Kocho close black lens bracket, it's mine too. It's just a small token of my appreciation, please don't mind it. Group leader, After watching her fateful video, she understood her future tragic death. He even saw the tragic deaths of his sister and the Demon Slayer Corps. Now that she knew all this in advance, she finally had a chance to avoid some tragedies. Naturally, she was extremely grateful to Lin Qing. Open black lens bracket Bukujima Seiko close black lens bracket. Hey. You guys are putting me in a passive position. The world I live in is just an ordinary technological world. It seems that there is nothing worth giving to the group leader. She could give money, but judging from what the group leader said before, he has his own company and doesn't seem like he would be short of money. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. At you Bukchun at Butterfly Kana, you are so thoughtful. I will accept the gift. This is just the first time. Don't do this again. As for Seiko, you don't need to worry about it. Giving me a copy of the future dead body virus will be considered a gift. This virus is actually quite valuable for research, although it is not clear what the difference is between this corpse virus and the zombie virus in Resident Evil, but it should be that humans took it over out of control as part of experimental research for longevity or genetic enhancement. Once it falls into Lin Qing's hands, it should be able to turn waste into treasure. Open black lens bracket Bukujima Seiko close black lens bracket. Thank you. Feeling comforted. Hee. Lin Qing smiled knowingly and chose to receive the 2 red envelopes. The next moment, a large amount of information flooded into his mind again. Open black lens bracket You have acquired a large amount of skills, breathing techniques, and related experience. With great luck, you have gained enlightenment. Your Wandaoju has integrated the Zixia divine art and breathing techniques, and your foundation has become deeper, with a perfect foundation of the heavenly level. Close black lens bracket. Cultivation realms. Body accumulation, acquired 9th level, innate 9th level, master, great master, celestial being, land immortal, etc. As expected, Lin Qing fell into enlightenment again. However, because he had the foundation of Feiyan skills and the foundation of Wandaoju. This epiphany lasted only a few minutes for Lin Qing to completely digest the information about the exercises, develop new ideas, and integrate them into his own Wandaoju. Make your foundation more profound. Open black lens bracket Ding. Group leader Lin Qing uploaded the heaven level skills, Soul Wandering Dragon, Purple Cloud Divine Skill, Life Breathing Method, etc., and received 50,000 points, and received half of the subsequent sales share of these skills. Close black lens bracket. These skills were created by Lin Qing based on the skills provided by Feiyan and Yu Bukchun. And he improved them all and raised them to the celestial level. Originally, even the Hun Shi Yulong was only a Grandmaster level skill, and it was not complete. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket. A celestial level Hun Shi Yulong. Sir, what on earth is going on? Did you just create this? At this point, she was extremely excited. This is a heavenly level skill. If she obtains this skill, then breaking through to the Grandmaster level won't be a problem for her, let alone reaching the heavenly master level, right? Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket. Heavenly level Zixia magical art. What level is this? Open black lens bracket Kanae Kocho close black lens bracket. Life breathing technique. I don't know what the effect is. Open black lens bracket Ding. Group owner Lin Qing sent an exclusive red envelope to group member Feiyan, please check it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Ding. Group leader Lin Qing to group member Yu Bukchun, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Ding. Group leader Lin Qing to group member Butterfly Kanae, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Ding. Bukujima Seiko, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. This is the level of the Feiyan world's martial arts, divided into the body, the 9 levels of acquired, the 9 levels of innate, the master, the great master, the celestial being, the earthly immortal, etc. Quote. This is what I just realized and deduced. It can be considered a small gift for you. After all, without your skills, I wouldn't have such a gain. Take them all, and then become stronger as soon as possible to change your own destiny. I am looking forward to your different lives. He had already given it, and he didn't treat her differently just because Busujima Seiko hadn't given him a red envelope before. With this skill, Busujima Seiko's subsequent survivability can at least be greatly improved. Well, he would never admit that he was a little greedy for Dokujima Seiko. All the group members were deeply moved after hearing this. They all received red envelopes. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket, thank you, group leader. As expected, the Hun Shi Yulong that Dong Huang Tai Yi gave me has a lot of problems and is not complete. He deserves to die, humph. Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket, thank you. The celestial level Zixia magic skill. He just tried to change his repair. The process was incredibly smooth, as if it was a link between her own Zixia magic skill and was extremely smooth. However, the efficiency of cultivation has increased by more than 10 times. The quality of Zixia's internal force that she cultivated also increased by more than 10 times. It's simply against the will of heaven. A celestial being. Forget about being a celestial being. As long as I reach the perfection of the acquired realm, relying on this powerful purple inner strength, I will be invincible in the world. Right, not to mention breaking through the innate realm. I'm rich now, ha ha ha. Yu Bukchun couldn't help but laugh heartily with his head raised. Before, he was still worried about his bleak future, but now, he doesn't have to worry about anything. P.S. New book uploaded, please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 5. Innate Magical Power. Traveling Through Time, Feiyan's Invitation, please collect. Flowers. Comments. Open black lens bracket Kanae Kocho close black lens bracket, what a powerful breathing method. I feel like my breathing method is totally incomparable to this one. Thank you, group leader. With this, I finally have some confidence in defeating Kibutsu Jimuzan. He. She felt that as long as she practiced this life-breathing method step by step and reached the innate level, she should be able to defeat Muzan. The Ghost King's combat power is just so lame. At most, their life state is a little special, their abilities are a little weird, and their vitality is a little stronger. Of course, the internal force generated by the life-breathing method has an effect similar to sunlight, which is also a reason why it is extremely restraining to ghosts. Open black lens bracket Bukujima Seiko close black lens bracket, thank you, group leader. This life-breathing technique is too powerful. Compared to this, my Busuki Ryu swordsmanship is garbage. That's right, what Lin Qing taught Busujima Seiko was also the life-breathing technique. Because this is easier to get started and improve. The improvement also focuses on all-round physical fitness and reaction ability, which will be more helpful for Seiko to survive in the apocalypse. Of course, the requirements for the cultivation environment are also lower. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket, practice hard. Regardless of whether the end of your world can be resolved in the future, it's always a good idea to become stronger. In addition, as your cultivation improves, your state of mind will also improve a lot, which should help you better control your inner desire to kill. Busujima Seiko was stunned when she heard this, and she felt a warm current flowing through her heart. She thought Lin Qing knew her dark and murderous heart and would look down on her. As it turns out, absolutely nothing. He even taught himself how to take control of it all. The group leader is so gentle and considerate. I cried my heart out. Open black lens bracket Bukujima Seiko close black lens bracket, yeah. I understand, I'll try my best. Open black lens bracket Bushima Seiko close black lens bracket, oh right. Group leader, you haven't started the new member lottery yet. Right, how about you try the lottery first? With your incredible luck, I'm sure you'll get something really good, right? She expressed her anticipation for this. If the group leader draws something super powerful and becomes invincible, can I ask him for help and solve the end of our world directly? Busujima Seiko fantasized in her mind. It's not impossible. As the group chat itself said, there is no level restriction for newcomers in the lottery, and everything is possible. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket, huh? Right, group leader, please quickly draw the lottery and let us see the power of luck with 100 points of signing in. Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket, agreed. Open black lens bracket Kanae Kocho close black lens bracket, we look forward to it together. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket, if you hadn't told me, I'd have forgotten about it. Then let's give it a try. Having said that, Lin Qing directly opened the lottery panel and started the newcomer lottery. Open black lens bracket ding. Congratulations to group leader Lin Qing for winning the super talent magical power of crossing in the newcomer lottery. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket innate magical power. Crossing close black lens bracket. With this innate magical power, one can directly obtain the ability to cross the world. The level of the world crossed is proportional to the strength level of the owner of the magical power. Divided into random traversal and locked traversal. If there is a corresponding world coordinate, locked traversal can be performed. Otherwise, only random traversal can be performed. However, the coordinates of the worlds you have visited can be locked, and you can come and go freely, and you can adjust the time flow rate of the main world and your own world at will. Between 1 to 100 times. Wow, this innate magical power is exactly what I want. In this way, won't I be able to travel to other worlds at will? When Lin Qing saw the reward introduction, his eyes suddenly lit up. He had reason to believe that this was definitely the result of his incredible luck. This gifted magical power is perfect for him. In fact, for someone else, random time travel may not be a good thing. Because the uncertainty of random travel is too great, it is very likely that you will travel directly to a dangerous world or a dangerous place. But this problem does not exist for Lin Qing, who has an extraordinary fortune. He even suspected that he could always travel to the world that suited him best. Open black lens bracket U Bukchun close black lens bracket, super gifted magical power. Time travel, this feels like a very incredible reward. Group leader, can you please tell me the specific function of this magical power? He is so curious. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket, same question. Does time travel refer to an ability similar to the time travel function in group chats? Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket, almost. With this magical power, I can travel to different worlds randomly in the future, and I am no longer limited to the world I am in. There will be a lot more resources available in the future. Also, if I've been to your world, I can get the corresponding coordinates. Going to your world, again in the future will only take a thought, and I won't have to rely on the time travel function of the group chat. This magical power suits me very well. As he spoke, Lin Qing called several leaders and secretaries of his company and began to explain some things, because he was going to make a time travel to see for himself. Open black lens bracket Bushima Seiko close black lens bracket, this is too strong. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket, but it's also very dangerous. Because time travel is random, who knows what kind of world you'll be in after traveling through time. Of course, this shouldn't be a problem for the group leader. It really suits you, group leader. Congratulations, group leader. Since your innate magical power can lock the world's coordinates, why don't you come to our world first? At the same time, is it convenient for you to come over anytime in the future? You are always welcome here. It is necessary to build good relationships with such an incredible group leader. Yu Bukchun and the others were stunned when they saw it, and then they all felt annoyed. Damn, why didn't I think of this? Immediately, several people came forward to invite Lin Qing. Lin Qing was very satisfied with everyone's attitude. This shows that they don't have much defense against themselves. Fine. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket, haha. There's no rush for that. I'm going to try out this magical power of time. Travel first to see what kind of world I go to for the first time. After I come back, I'll consider going to your world, especially the world where Feiyan is. The world I live in cannot support me to break through to the Shantian realm. Later, I may need to rely on the cultivation environment over there to break through. The world on Yu Buchan's side should be able to barely meet his requirements for a breakthrough to the innate level. But it is only innate. If you want to continue to improve in the future, the world where Yu Bukchun is located may not be of much use. Feiyan's eyes lit up immediately when she saw it. This is good news. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket, hehe. Then we'll be waiting for the group leader to come at any time. Lin Qing spent several hours explaining a lot of things and made sure that nothing serious would happen in the company if he was away for the next 10 days or half a month before he left the company and returned home. After storing some spare clothes, food, water and even a few small gold bars in the group storage space. He entered an underground secret room and locked the door. Then, with a thought, he directly activated the ability to travel through time and space. Ong! The next moment, Lin Qing was wrapped in a ball of light and disappeared in the underground secret room in the next moment. P.S. New book uploaded, please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 6. Superpowers out of control, telekinesis acquired, please add to favorites, give flowers, and rate. After a dizzying spin, I didn't know how much time had passed. Maybe for a long time, maybe just for a moment. When Lin Qing opened his eyes again, he looked around vigilantly and found that he was in an unfamiliar open space with a small forest not far away. The most important thing was that when he lowered his head, he saw a somewhat dark hole on the ground in front of him. At this time, a conversation came from the left side of Lin Qing. At the same time, 3 young men walked towards this side. Steve, haven't we arrived yet? Is there really a mysterious cave? Don't worry, how could I lie to you? It's true, I discovered it by accident before. Don't say I didn't share it with you. Hey, Andrew, can you put down the camera for a moment? Don't fall, it's dark here, it's okay, I'm steady. Lin Qing was originally waiting for these people to come closer so that he could find out which world this was. As a result, he was able to see those young teenagers clearly with the powerful night vision ability enhanced by his cultivation. Among them, the one holding the camera fell to the ground with a thud, and the camera in his hand was thrown several meters away and rolled to Lin Qing's feet, seemingly broken. Andrew, are you okay? I told you to put the camera down first, and now you've fallen, right? Mike complained, and he and Steve helped Andrew up. At this time, Lin Qing picked up the camera and walked over, handed it to him and said, "Hello. Here, this is your camera, but it seems to be broken." Hiss. Thank you. When Andrew saw the damaged camera, he didn't care about the pain in his body, and hurriedly thanked Lin Qing. He took the camera from Lin Qing and checked it with heartache. Thank you, brother. My name is Steve Mike and this is my cousin Andrew. Mike and Steve thanked Lin Qing one after another. No need, I suggest you take your friend to the hospital first. His foot is bleeding a lot and it looks serious. Lin Qing smiled and waved his hand, pointing at the blood oozing from Andrew's pants and reminded him. Steve looked in the direction Lin Qing pointed and discovered what was happening to Andrew's leg. His face suddenly changed. Oh, damn it, Andrew, can't you feel any pain yourself? Quick, Steve, let's help him to the school infirmary. Also, thank you, brother. Let's go. I'll thank you again when I have the chance. With that, Mike called Steve to carry Andrew and left quickly. Hey, Mike, Steve, I'm actually fine. Aren't we going to explore that cave? What nonsense are you talking about? We can go on adventures anytime, but I'd better take you to check your injuries first. All right. Quote. Looking at the figures of several people arguing and walking away, Lin Qing immediately touched his chin and thought, the names and general appearances of these 3 people are very familiar. The next moment, Lin Qing luckily recalled something, clapped his hands and thought, yes. Superpower out of control. This should be the world of superpower out of control. Aren't these 3 the protagonists? So, that super-powered crystal was in the cave earlier. Just go and see for yourself. Thinking of this, Lin Qing immediately turned and walked towards the cave. As for why the plot changed and Andrew fell, Lin Qing felt that, if nothing unexpected happened, it should be his bad luck that was to blame. Automatically exclude any existence that may affect his interests. Soon, Lin Qing returned to the front of the cave, and with a light leap using his qigong, he landed at the bottom of the cave. Looking inside, he saw a sea urchin crystal-like object standing at the end of the cave, glowing with a bluish-purple glow. Lin Qing walked forward quickly and used his inner strength to sense the air from a distance, but he detected no danger. At the same time, his 6th sense did not give him a sense of danger. He was relieved. It seems that this thing is not a trap, and there are no alien hosts in it. After confirming this, Lin Qing reached out and pressed on the sea urchin crystal. Buzz buzz buzz. The next moment, the sea urchin crystal began to emit a dazzling light and at the same time made a harsh and even dizzying sound. Lin Qing's face changed slightly, and he quickly used his internal force to block his ears. At the same time, he felt a special energy flowing out of the crystal, flowing into his mind along his hand, and began to affect his mental power and transform the pineal gland between his eyebrows. Lin Qing felt his head swelling, and the situation was getting worse. During this process, Lin Qing could clearly feel that a special mental power was born between his eyebrows, and under the influence of the crystal, it was rapidly growing and strengthening. He seemed to look inward and sense the sea of consciousness between his eyebrows. Under the influence of the super-powered crystal, the sea of consciousness is expanding rapidly. Open black lens bracket. You came into contact with the super-powered telekinetic crystal and successfully activated telekinesis. With great luck, you had an epiphany. Combining a lot of martial arts, yin-yang, magic, spirit, and soul information, you created a spiritual practice method and a telekinetic practice method, and successfully integrated it into the Wandao Ju, close black lens bracket. After completing his epiphany and creation, Lin Qing almost instinctively began to practice the telekinesis cultivation method in the Wandao Ju, and began to use the energy in the super power crystal to expand his sea of consciousness. At the same time, constantly strengthen your telekinesis and control over it. For a while, the headache was greatly relieved. A few hours passed in a flash. Watching the crystal gradually change from bluish-purple to blood red, and even showing a tendency to turn black, the special energy flowing out from it also began to decrease sharply. The effect of expanding his sea of consciousness became negligible. Lin Qing quickly thought about it and put the sea urchin crystal directly into the group storage space. Boom! It seemed that because of the loss of the support of the sea urchin crystal, the cave began to crumble and dust continued to fall. Lin Qing quickly used his Qinggong skills, and in 2 flashes he left the cave and appeared near the cave entrance. Crack! Watching the cave collapse and disappear, he thought that the noise would alarm many people. So he used his Qinggong skills to quickly leave. They stopped only when they reached the depths of a remote forest. Then, he began to experiment with his new telekinesis. Ka ka ka. I saw him waving at a small tree the size of a bowl in front of him. Suddenly, the small tree was uprooted by an invisible force and floated in the air. Then, Lin Qing clenched his fist. Ka ka ka. The small tree floating in the air was suddenly squeezed by an invisible force, and in an instant it was crushed and compressed into a ball of broken wood with a diameter of more than 50 centimeters. Go! Lin Qing then pointed forward, controlling the wooden ball to shoot forward like a cannonball. Crack! It directly smashed a thick tree in half, and then crashed into a huge rock dozens of meters away. With unabated momentum, it hit the stone, creating a deep pit and embedding itself into the stone for several meters before it stopped. Pa! 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 Seeing all this, Lin Qing patted the non-existent dust on his hands with satisfaction and nodded. With satisfaction, this destructive power is not bad. In terms of strength, it should be enough for me to lift 10 tons. As for the control distance, we need to continue testing. P.S. New book uploaded, please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 7. Strength Surges, Heading to the Qin Dynasty World, 7/10, please collect flowers, comments. After that, Lin Qing did not stop, but continued to conduct a series of tests. It didn't stop until half an hour later. The maximum control distance should be 100 meters. The telepathic perception range is 500 meters. In addition, he has mastered the ability to fly, but the speed is a bit slow and has not exceeded the speed of sound. It seems that I need to practice for a while to improve my telekinesis. Lin Qing thought to himself. At this time, he simply relied on the super-powered crystal to expand the volume of his sea of consciousness to the maximum extent. But the growth in the quality and quantity of telekinesis has not yet caught up. Fortunately, for the next period of time, before the quality of his telekinesis reaches the upper limit of his sea of consciousness, his telekinesis will be in a period of rapid automatic growth. Not to mention, he also created a corresponding method of practicing telekinesis, which will only speed up the improvement. After thinking this through, Lin Qing did not rush back to the main world. Instead, he took out his tent and temporarily settled down in the forest of this world. Every day I am either cultivating telekinesis, or practicing and familiarizing myself with it, and developing various ways to use it. Occasionally, I chat with group members. However, everyone recently obtained new skills given by Lin Qing, and also knew their own future. They are all working hard to improve their cultivation, and they don't spend much time in the group. 10 days passed in a flash, when Lin Qing felt that his telekinesis had reached the upper limit of his sea of consciousness, and the speed of improvement had slowed down. He stopped his retreat and prepared to return to the main world. It's not that it can't be improved later. He can still expand his sea of consciousness and improve the quality and quantity of his telekinesis by practicing telekinesis training methods. However, this speed is more than dozens of times slower than before. There is no need to go into seclusion anymore, just go back to your own world and practice slowly. Yes, my telekinesis can already lift objects weighing 500 tons. The ultimate control distance has also been increased to 5,000 meters. The maximum speed of telekinetic flight has been increased to 5 times the speed of sound. Things like telekinetic shield, telekinetic impact, etc. have been mastered, and we can now conclude this. Thinking of this, Lin Qing stopped the test, stretched, and said with a slight smile, "This time I really gained a lot. With this telekinesis, I finally have the ability to protect myself. It's time to go back." As he spoke, Lin Qing directly activated his magical power of time travel, locked onto the main world, and disappeared on the spot. For him, the greatest benefit in this world has already been obtained, and nothing else matters. After going to the world where superpowers were out of control, Lin Qing adjusted the flow of time between the main world and other worlds. Therefore, it has been 10 days since the superpowers went out of control, and less than 1 day. In the main world, he took out his cell phone and turned it on. Not surprisingly, he didn't receive any phone messages. Well, I've already explained everything to Xiaozi and the others. I've taken such a long leave. It wouldn't be a good idea to go back directly. I should go directly to Fei Yan's world and improve my cultivation. Thinking of this, Lin Qing opened the group chat. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. At Fei Yan, are you there? Fei Yan, who was practicing, heard the group chat prompt and immediately stopped practicing and opened her eyes. Seeing that it was Lin Qing who was practicing on him, he quickly replied. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket. Yes. Yes. Group leader, is there anything I can help you with? Are you planning to come over to my place? Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. Not bad. I'm going to come here to improve my cultivation. Is that convenient? Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket. It's convenient. Group leader, you can come over anytime. I've already given you permission. Ah, I forgot. Group leader, you have the privileges, you don't need me to give you permission. Hehe. But such a group owner is still willing to ask her. What does this mean? It represents respect. She felt quite comfortable. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. Haha. I still have to say hello. I'll be right over here. Having said that, Lin Qing directly spent 100 points to buy a time travel talisman and used it directly. A light gate immediately appeared in front of him and he walked straight in. After a few breaths, he appeared in a room in an attic and saw the graceful Fei Yan. Hello, Fei Yan, I'm Lin Qing. Lin Qing smiled and raised his hand to greet Fei Yan. At the same time, he used his telekinesis to sense the situation nearby. Hello, group leader, you are so handsome. Fei Yan looked at Lin Qing with shining eyes and praised him. It's not just his handsome looks, she thinks Lin Qing's ethereal and otherworldly temperament is even more attractive. You're so kind. You're very beautiful too. You don't have to call me group leader or anything like that, just call me Lin Qing. Lin Qing responded, then withdrew his perception and asked, is this Shenyang City? You are here at this time. What time is it now? Then I'll call you brother Lin Qing. Fei Yan smiled knowingly and did not refuse the opportunity to get closer to Lin Qing. Although she was a little surprised that Lin Qing could determine that this was Shenyang City. Without leaving the house, she did not ask any more questions and replied directly, yes. This is a station of the Yin-Yang family in the east city of Shenyang City. As for the time point, according to the timekeeping method of other group members' worlds, it should be 239 BC, that is, the 8th year of Qin Wangjung, when Qin Wang Yingzheng was about to take power. In addition, according to the latest information from the intelligence, the Confucian Han Fei has returned to South Korea recently. Lin Qing listened and nodded in understanding. This is a good time. However, has the Yin-Yang family already bet on Ying Zheng at this point in time? Or is this a change brought about by you? Lin Qing said this and looked at Feiyan. All of them. Feiyan nodded and shook her head. In fact, Dongwang Tai had long ago predicted that the world would be unified in the hands of Qin Wang Ying Zheng. In order to obtain the 7 stars of Azure Dragon and to realize the subsequent plans, betting on Qin Wangjung was a plan that had been made long ago. However, it is true that because of my suggestion, the Yin-Yang family joined the king of Qin some time earlier. In addition to following the general trend, I also want to use this to buy myself more time for cultivation. These days, she has successfully broken through to the Grandmaster level by switching to practicing a more complete and powerful new soul, Shi Yulong. But facing Dongwang Tai, who was a senior celestial being, she knew that this level of cultivation was far from enough. Still needs to work hard. If I continue to stay in the Yin-Yang family headquarters, it will be easy to expose my situation. It is better to stay away from Dongwang Tai for the time being. Fine. Lin Qing nodded. Smart people should take the rhythm into their own hands. Instead of passively waiting for Dongwang Tai to give her a task, it is better to take the initiative. Next, I plan to find a place near Korea to practice in seclusion, and by the way, pay attention to and participate in the things happening in Korea to add some fun. Do you want to come with me? Or continue to practice here? Lin Qing then looked at Feiyan and asked. Feiyan was stunned when she heard this. Aren't you practicing here? Also, why are you interested in what's going on in Korea? Feiyan always felt that the group leader was not interested in South Korea's current affairs, but other things. For example, the beautiful women there. Knowing the future, she is aware that there are many beautiful women gathered in Korea at this time. Of course, this thought only flashed through my mind, and I didn't even feel dissatisfied. It's not just because her relationship with Lin Qing is far from perfect. Moreover, we have learned the lesson from the tragic death of the old group leader. These group members had already secretly made up their minds that they would never have any dissatisfaction or even unfavorable thoughts towards Lin Qing in the future. P.S. New book uploaded, please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 8 The Moon Goddess Seeking Death, 8/10. Please add to favorites, send flowers, and give comments. Hee. Lin Qing listened and chuckled, because my cultivation makes too much noise. If I practice in Shenyang City, it will definitely attract a lot of attention and bring a lot of unnecessary trouble to you and me. As for the reason for going to Korea, he didn't explain at all, so Feiyan naturally didn't ask any more questions. Is that so? Then I'll go to Korea with you, brother Lin Qing. Feiyan made up her mind immediately. Since I have decided to have a good relationship with Lin Qing, how can I miss this good opportunity to get along with her? Please wait for me for a moment. I'll tell you something and then I'll leave. Okay, no problem. Go ahead and do your work. Lin Qing naturally had no objection. Hold on. Feiyan immediately came out of the retreat room, summoned the great god of destiny, and said, I need to go to South Korea recently. I have learned some information about the Blue Dragon. 7 stars treasure box there through other channels, so I have to go there in person. The Qin state will be handed over to you and Moon Goddess for the time being. That's right, the Moon Goddess has also come here. She just likes to compete with him. But now Feiyan was too lazy to pay attention to her. Don't say she has joined the group chat and gained an unlimited future. Even if she hadn't joined, the Moon Goddess would never be her opponent. Yes, Da Siming is Feiyan's die-hard fan and admires her very much. When he heard her say this, he naturally had no objection and agreed directly. Yeah, that's it. Having said that, Feiyan left Da Siming and returned to the secret room to meet Lin Qing. Then, he left the Yin-Yang family's residence together with Lin Qing. Tisk tisk. When did sister get to know such a handsome man? And he was hiding here in the garrison, and even I didn't know about him before. It seems like you have a secret, sister. Interesting. On the rooftop of an attic at the Yin-Yang family's residence, Yu Shen stood there, gazing at the receding backs of Lin Qing and Fei Yan, chuckling and muttering. No way, were you discovered? At this moment, Yu Shen's face suddenly changed, because she saw Lin Qing, who was more than 1,000 meters away, suddenly turned around and looked at her, and his eyes collided. with hers across the air. At this moment, Lin Qing's voice rang in her mind, "Little girl. It is very rude to spy on others at will. I'll teach you a little lesson today, don't do it again." Hiss. As soon as she finished speaking, the moon goddess felt as if her head was hit by a heavy hammer, causing her to cry out in pain, and her pretty face turned slightly pale. For a moment, I felt dizzy and unable to concentrate. It took me a while to recover. She rubbed her brows, which still felt a little painful, and said with a cold look in her eyes, "Good, very good, I will remember you, man. Today's hatred will be avenged tomorrow." Oh, but the next moment she slipped and fell headfirst from the top of the attic. Just when he was about to use his internal energy to steady his body, he suddenly lost his breath. For some reason, and his internal breathing became disordered, and he almost vomited blood. Fortunately, at the last moment before falling to the ground, she finally stabilized her breath and successfully forced herself to adjust her falling posture. Only then did he land on his feet first and kneel on the ground to cushion the impact, thus reducing the possibility of injury as much as possible. Even so, falling from the roof of an attic more than 10 meters high, without the protection of her internal energy, caused her feet to temporarily become numb and tingling. She was unable to recover for a while and was unable to move. Hiss. What's going on? The moon goddess's face was filled with astonishment and confusion. She had never expected that one day she would be so embarrassed, actually slipping and falling from the roof, and, just happened, to get a stitch in the side. It's absolutely abnormal. Is it because of that man? The moon goddess was already well versed in calculations and tended to overthink. She instantly locked her target on Lin Qing. Let me do the math. Immediately, the moon goddess began to calculate Lin Qing. Puff. However, the next moment, she spat out a mouthful of blood, her face turned extremely pale, and her body could no longer hold on, and she collapsed to the ground. How is this possible? How is it possible that someone with such terrible luck could exist? The little glimpse I have seen is beyond the whole world. That's just a tiny part. She simply couldn't imagine what kind of being she had provoked. The key point is, why would this kind of person know my sister? The moon goddess was jealous. You are such a fool, little girl. You are trying to figure out something beyond your understanding. Do you think your life is too long? Since you are Fei Yin's sister, I will spare your life this time. If you commit suicide again next time, I will not care about you anymore. At this time, Lin Qing's familiar voice sounded again in Yu Shen's mind. Yes, thank you for your help, sir. The moon goddess' attitude softened completely at this time. She quickly sat up straight and respectfully bowed in the direction where Lin Qing left. She knew very well that if Lin Qing had not noticed her calculations and taken the initiative to suppress most of the backlash for him, she would not only be vomiting blood and seriously injured, but she would probably have lost her life. At the same time, she also understood that her previous misstep and stitch in the side were definitely due to Lin Qing. It wasn't that the other party was teasing or punishing her on purpose. It was simply because she had developed malice and hostility towards Lin Qing, and was then harmed by his luck. I absolutely cannot miss this person with such incredible luck. Sister, I will fight with you no matter what you say. The moon goddess thought firmly in her heart. Why do all the good things and benefits belong to my sister? She, the moon goddess, was not convinced. Lin Qing, did my stupid sister anger you, brother Lin Qing? If so, please spare her life and give her some punishment. Fei Yin also noticed Lin Qing's two voice transmissions and his turning back. She immediately discovered the situation of her sister and quickly pleaded with Lin Qing. It was also because Lin Qing did not hide it, and Fei Yin was very powerful and had a strong mental strength. Otherwise, Fei Yin might not be able to detect Lin Qing's voice transmission. It's not that serious. She has already been given a small punishment. Lin Qing smiled and waved his hands, then explained with a somewhat strange expression. However, this little girl was courting death by trying to outwit me. If I hadn't reacted in time, and suppressed 99.99% of the backlash, she would probably have died by now. Fei Yan, remember to warn her in the future not to make random assumptions about people who are beyond her understanding, otherwise, you will surely die. Remember. However, Lin Qing felt that after today's lesson, even if Fei Yan didn't say anything, Yushin would be much more honest and careful in the future. Is that really the case? Feiyan finally understood what happened after hearing this. She immediately bowed to Lin Qing, with a look of fear on her face, and said gratefully, "Thank you, brother Lin Qing. I apologize to you on behalf of my stupid sister. She probably did this simply out of jealousy of me, not out of any ill will towards you, brother." Lin Qing nodded indifferently. "I understand, otherwise she would have died. Let's not talk about this. This is too slow. Let me take you on your way. Don't resist." As he spoke, his mind moved and he used his telekinesis to wrap himself in Feiyan, forming a spherical barrier. Then it rose into the sky with red smoke and flew towards the east at a high speed. However, he had rushed out of Shenyang city in just a few breaths and disappeared into the sky. Before the soldiers defending the city could react, this deity, only a group of stunned people were left, staring in disbelief in the direction where the trace had disappeared, unable to speak for a long time. P.S. New book uploaded, please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 9 Open black lens bracket telekinetic practice close black lens bracket, 9/10. Please add to favorites, flowers, and comments. In group chat, open black lens bracket Kanae butterfly close black lens bracket, At Feiyan, Sister Feiyan, has the group leader come to your side? Why isn't there any bubbling? Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket, I'm already here. I was busy dealing with travel matters and didn't have time to chat. Right now, brother Lin Qing is taking me to Korea. Looking at the rapidly receding scene around her, Feiyan just wanted to say that the speed was too fast. Even the realm of heaven and man is far inferior, right? At this speed, she felt that it would only take a few minutes to reach Sinjung, the capital of South Korea. So terrifying. Open black lens bracket Kanae butterfly close black lens bracket, Flying. When will the group leader be able to fly? And can he bring others with him? Wasn't he an ordinary person before? Even if he practices faster, he can't reach this level, right? Open black lens bracket U Bukchun close black lens bracket, that's right. Even if you are a congenital, you can't really fly by yourself, let alone lead others. That can only be done by the heavenly realm. Could it be that the group leader has broken through the heavenly realm? Is it necessary to be so scary? He felt that the group leader had been completely held back by the environment of his world. Otherwise he would have been invincible long ago. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket, I can be sure that brother Lin Qing is far from being in the heavenly man realm at the moment, and his flying ability is not from the true Qi martial arts, but a special kind of mental power. Open black lens bracket Bukujima Seiko close black lens bracket, it should be the telekinesis that the group leader obtained when he went to the new world, right? There is this concept in the novel. When the telekinesis reaches a certain strength, it can fly. It seems that the group leader has become very strong. Very good. Seeing that there were only a few days left before the end of the world, she wished that Lin Qing would become as strong as possible. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket, yes. This is the effect of telekinesis. Currently, my fastest flying speed can reach 5 times the speed of sound, which is more than 1000 meters per second, which is enough for traveling. Open black lens bracket U Bukchun close black lens bracket, more than 1000 meters per second. That's terrifying. Open black lens bracket Bushima Seiko close black lens bracket, indeed, it's much faster than many fighter planes. It's terrifying. Open black lens bracket U Bukchun close black lens bracket, Master, I wonder if we can learn this telekinesis. Is there a method to practice it? Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket, same question. Open black lens bracket Bukujima Seiko close black lens bracket, ditto. Open black lens bracket Kanae butterfly close black lens bracket, ditto. Open black lens bracket Ding. Group leader Lin Qing has put the method of psychic power cultivation and some psychic power seeds on the group store. Hurry up and buy them. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket, it's already on the shelves. If you need it, you can go buy it. But I need to remind you that even if you learn it, it is impossible to improve your telekinesis to my level in a short period of time. You need to practice and improve it step by step. It was because of a fortuitous encounter that I obtained something like a natural treasure that I was able to increase my telekinesis to this level in an instant. But I have basically used up all these natural resources. There is only one piece of super crystal. After he had almost exhausted the energy inside, the super power crystal was temporarily no longer able to help others activate and enhance their telekinesis. However, Lin Qing still put it away for future research. Just because we are unable to restore and recycle them now doesn't mean we won't be able to do so in the future. Open black lens bracket U Bukchun close black lens bracket. No. This is enough. We didn't expect to reach the top overnight. Hee. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket. Agreed. Immediately, except for Busuji Maseko, the other three chose to purchase telekinesis training methods and telekinesis seeds, preparing to activate and practice telekinesis. I mainly focus on the potential and practicality of this ability. Beside Lin Qing, he sensed a telekinetic seed entering Fei Yan's brow the next moment, and then she began to practice according to the telekinetic cultivation method. Crack. In just a few breaths, Fei Yan successfully refined the telekinesis seed in her spiritual sea of consciousness, and cultivated her own telekinesis through the exercises. The next moment, she opened her eyes, stretched out her hand, and a telekinesis covered her hand. She said in amazement, "This is actually a variant of mental power. What a magical special creation. It can actually directly interfere with reality. Brother Lin Qing, I feel like I should be able to improve my telekinesis soon." Not surprising. After hearing this, Lin Qing smiled knowingly and said, "After all, you are already a master of local martial arts at the Grandmaster level. The yin-yang technique you practice focuses on mental power. Both the strength of your mental power and the breadth of your sea of consciousness are not low. For the next period of time, until you fill your sea of consciousness with telekinesis, your training speed will be very fast. Then it will slow down. However, it may not be so easy to improve to my current level. The expansion and improvement of the sea of consciousness is not that simple. Of course, if Fei Yan were to break through to the realm of celestial beings or even terrestrial immortals in a short period of time, and allow his sea of consciousness to expand at an accelerated rate, it would not be impossible for him to quickly catch up with his current strength in telekinesis. That's enough. Fei Yan smiled brightly after hearing this. As long as it is enough for the time being, there is no need to catch up with or even surpass brother Lin Qing. She considered herself a super genius, but facing the clumsy Lin Qing, she thought it would be better for her to be more sensible. You have to know that more than 10 days ago, Lin Qing was just an ordinary person. There is no need to compare it with wall hangings. That's just making yourself uncomfortable. Well, as long as you are happy. Lin Qing smiled. At this time, a huge city had appeared within his perception and sight. Lin Qing immediately stopped and said to Fei Yan while descending, "Let's not enter the city yet. I plan to practice and break through first." Since coming to this world, he has felt the vitality of heaven and earth that is dozens of times richer than that of the main world, as well as the cultivation that is ready to move. If he hadn't been suppressing it all the time, he would have broken through to the innate realm directly since he came into this world. There was no way. His comprehension of the realm of martial arts had far exceeded the standard. During the process of sudden enlightenment and creation of the technique, and his cultivation was solid. Marrow washing and hair removal were also performed. Breakthrough is just a natural thing. Is this another breakthrough? Fei Yan was stunned when she heard this, then quickly nodded and said, "I have no problem. Go ahead and break through. If you trust me, I will be there to protect you. It's only been a few days. It's already congenital. This is still due to the limitations of the world's conditions, otherwise Lin Qing's cultivation would only be higher. Think about how long it took me to break through to the Shantian realm. At least a few years." Compared with Lin Qing, she felt a little shocked. Haha, of course I believe it. After hearing this, Lin Qing raised his head and smiled, then landed with Fei Yan in a relatively remote open space, jokingly saying, "Besides, the group chat has enabled the function that group members cannot harm each other, so there is no need to worry about group members attacking each other." Fei Yan was stunned when she heard this. There is such a function. I didn't even notice it before. She immediately opened the group chat to learn more and confirmed that this function really existed. That's great. Now the group members can get along more easily and harmoniously. Fei closed the group chat and chuckled. Well, I broke through first, thank you for your help. Having said that, Lin Qing sat down cross-legged and began to practice the Wan Dao Ju. P.S. New book uploaded, please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 10. Breaking through the Shantian realm, Wei Zhuang and others arrived 10/10, please collect flowers, comments, buzz. The next moment, Fei sensed a terrifying suction force coming from Lin Qing, which quickly absorbed the surrounding heaven and earth energy in a domineering manner. Moreover, the scope of absorption is still expanding, and soon it will expand to several thousand meters. This terrifying noise directly alarmed the masters of Xinjiang and above who were more than 10 kilometers away. In Zilin Pavilion, is this someone breaking through to Grandmaster level? Wei Zhuang was originally talking with Xinu and Han Fei. Noticing the violent fluctuations in the vital energy of heaven and earth, he suddenly stood up, flashed to the yard, looked to the west, and said solemnly. This movement was much more intense than when he broke through to the Grandmaster level. There is indeed a violent fluctuation of heaven and earth energy. Most of the heaven and earth energy around here is flowing rapidly to the west. Can you confirm who it is? Is he really breaking through to the Grandmaster level? Xinu also flashed out and asked Wei Zhuang. Pretty close. Wei Zhuang nodded, then said to Xinu and Han Fei, at this time, the sudden appearance of a strange new master may not be a good thing. I will go and see who he is. He believed that he was not the only one who had such thoughts and actions. Ji Wuya and Bai Yifei, who just returned to Xinjiang today, will probably rush there, right? Okay. Xinu nodded. Be careful. Yeah, let's go. Wei Zhuang nodded coldly, and the next moment he quickly moved towards the west using his body skills. It's a pity that I'm not strong enough, otherwise I would like to go and take a look. At this time, Han Fei was holding a glass of wine, lying on the windowsill, looking at Han Fei's receding figure, and lazily mocking the host. You'd better not cause trouble for Xiaozhuang. Upon hearing this, Xinu glared at Han Fei unhappily, and then said worriedly, you should pay attention to the things in the city. Bai Yifei has already returned. We don't know what he and Ji Wuya will do next. We have to be on guard. After all, Ji Wuya hated you to the core because of the ghost soldiers, robbery of the pay. I'm afraid he won't let it go next time. Yes, Han Fei also felt a headache after hearing this, but now we can only passively wait for him to make a move. Perhaps this new Grandmaster will bring us a surprise. As he spoke, Han Fei blinked at Xinu. Xinu gave him a big eye roll. Whatever you want. Having said that, Xinu slipped away. Han Fei was left alone here, looking up at the sky and sighing, alas. The storm is coming. Han, Guo, what can I do to save you? When he first returned to South Korea, he was full of ambition. But now, not long after, he was already exhausted both physically and mentally. There are too many restrictions. He has a lot of abilities and ambitions, but he is unable to display them successfully. Unfortunately, there is not much time left for South Korea. Hulanji Qin in the west is growing stronger and may attack at any time. Lin Qing, crack. Only a few breaths after Lin Qing started practicing, he used the rich vitality of heaven and earth to easily break through the bottleneck and enter the innate realm. Even so, it is not over yet, his cultivation is still growing rapidly. More than 10 minutes later, Lin Qing stopped practicing, opened his eyes, stood up, and flashed to appear beside Fei Yan, several dozen meters away, and said, several masters of the Grandmaster realm are here. Fei Yan turned her head and looked at Lin Qing apologetically. I'm sorry. I said I was here to protect you, but it ended up affecting your cultivation. As she spoke, Fei Yan felt a hint of resentment towards the three people who had come. It's so annoying. Don't worry, I have already completed the breakthrough. And I have raised my cultivation to the second level of Shantian. It doesn't affect anything anymore. You can practice anytime you want later. Lin Qing smiled and shook his head. You have reached the second level of Shantian. That's fast. It seems like your cultivation is as easy as eating and drinking water. It's really disappointing. Upon hearing this, Fei Yan smiled bitterly and shook her head. If she had this speed of cultivation, she would have killed Dongwang Tai and taken control of the Yin-Yang family long ago. You don't need to belittle yourself. Your talent is already among the best in the world. I'm just special. Lin Qing shook his head with amusement and consoled him. Maybe. Fei Yin shook her head noncommittally, then looked ahead and said, here it comes. Swish, swish, swish. After a few breaths, 3 figures flew towards this side at a very fast speed. Seeing Lin Qing and Fei Yin, who seemed to have been waiting here for a long time, the 3 of them narrowed their eyes slightly, split into 2 groups, and stood dozens of meters away from Lin Qing and the others. From this aura, are you from the Yin-Yang school? Wei Zhuang looked at Fei Yin and Lin Qing, and his gaze finally locked on Fei Yin. He couldn't help but ask. At the same time, he was somewhat confused. He couldn't figure out the strength of the 2 people in front of him. Fei Yin would be fine. He could also roughly sense the aura of the Yin-Yang school's martial arts. But Lin Qing gave him an even stranger feeling. He is extremely reserved and looks like an ordinary person. But is this possible? The confidence and spirit revealed in Lin Qing's eyes alone are not something that ordinary people can possess. He must be a master. Wei Zhuang thought to himself. But who was the one who broke through before? Is there a third person here? Wei Zhuang and even Ji Wuya and Bai Yifei, who rushed over, couldn't help but wonder in their letters. The 2 people in front of him clearly did not look like they had just made a breakthrough. But they sensed and did not detect any other human presence nearby. That's strange. Yin-Yang family's Dongjun Yanfei, you are this generation's Guigu Hengjian successor Wei Zhuang, right? Are you already in the middle stage of Grandmaster? Not bad. Upon hearing this, Fei Yin looked at Wei Zhuang and nodded slightly, then looked at Wei Zhuang meaningfully and praised him. After hearing this, Wei Zhuang frowned slightly. The woman's eyes and words gave him a bad feeling, and he didn't like it. What does it mean that the mid-stage Grandmaster is not bad? He is obviously very good, okay. Of course, facing Fei Yin, who couldn't tell the truth, he didn't rashly open his mouth to retort, but asked, was the previous breakthrough here caused by one of you? Can you tell me? Ji Wuya and Bai Yifei on the side did not speak, but just listened quietly to Wei Zhuang and the others' communication and got information. That's about right. Fei Yin nodded without comment. It's inconvenient to tell you more details. If there's nothing else, we'll leave first. There will be plenty of opportunities to meet in the future, hee. As she spoke, Fei Yin looked at Lin Qing and took the initiative to put her arm around Lin Qing. Well, let's go. Lin Qing smiled and nodded. Since Fei Yin had approached him on her own initiative, he didn't hesitate. He put his arm around Fei Yin's waist, wrapped the 2 of them with his telekinesis, and flew up into the sky towards the east with a swoosh. In the blink of an eye, only a black dot was left. In the blink of an eye, the person had disappeared. P.S. New book uploaded. Please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 11. Yan Lingji in the fish tank. Jealous Fei Yin, 1/6. Please collect flowers, comments, hiss. This scene made Wei Zhuang and the other 2 gasp in shock. They all thought solemnly, flying with someone, at such a terrifying speed, could that man be a powerful person? In the heavenly man realm? How is this possible? It's not just because Lin Qing looks too young. They had never heard of such a mysterious and powerful person in the realm of heaven and man appearing in the world. It seems that I need to send a message to the teacher and ask about the situation. He should know something. However, judging from the direction they left, it was obviously Xinjiang. It seems that the situation of Xinjiang will become more complicated. I don't know whether it is good or bad. Wei Zhuang frowned, then glanced at Ji Wuya and Bai Yifei, who were also standing there in a daze not far away, and without thinking, he ran away. He had offended Ji Wuya before. If he continued to stay here, who knows if these 2 would join forces to attack him. In a one-on-one fight, Wei Zhuang is confident that he can be invincible. But facing 2 masters who were in the late stage of Grandmaster or even perfect masters at the same time, he felt that he was still not up to the task. By the time Ji Wuya and Bai Yifei reacted, Wei Zhuang had already run far away. What a pity, General. Actually, we should have kept Wei Zhuang. Since he is already an enemy, there is no need to hold back. Bai Yifei glanced at Wei Zhuang, who was walking away, and said to Ji Wuya, there's no need. He's not the real threat. Han Fei and the 2 people just now are. Ji Wuya shook his head, frowned and looked at Bai Yifei and asked, "My lord, what do you think the two people from the Yin-Yang family want to do by appearing in Xinjiang at this time? Will they pose a threat to us?" These two people gave him a feeling of being unfathomable and beyond his control. He really didn't like this feeling. There is too little information to be clear. Bai Yifei shook his head. However, as long as they stay in Xinjiang, we will find out sooner or later, and then we will be prepared in advance. In fact, Bai Yifei had some vague guesses in his mind. It is said that the Yin-Yang family has been pursuing the secret of the Blue Dragon's 7 stars. Could it be that Dongjun Yanfei came here for this? If so, that's going to be a bit troublesome. Bai Yifei thought to himself. He has long been eyeing the secret of the Blue Dragon and the 7 stars in South Korea, and will not allow anyone else to get involved. Even the Yin-Yang school is no exception. We can only take it one step at a time. We must master the secret of the Blue Dragon 7 stars as soon as possible. Bai Yifei thought as he made up his mind. That's all we can do. I hope they don't get what's good for them. Humph. Let's go back too. Having said that, Ji Wuya snorted coldly, called Shang Bai Yifei and hurried back. Lin Qing was flying in a straight line. While flying over a small mountain range, he suddenly sensed something below. He let out a light cry and stopped in midair. What's wrong? Fei Yan asked with some confusion. At this moment, she was held in Lin Qing's arms, and the shame on her face had not yet faded. We found something interesting down there. Shall we go down and take a look? Lin Qing lowered his head and looked at Fei Yan in his arms for advice. It's up to you. Fei Yan nodded, indicating that she had no objection. Then let's go. Lin Qing immediately descended with Fei Yan, and soon they were floating more than 20 meters above a mountain. Their blatant appearance directly attracted the attention of a group of soldiers stationed on the mountain. These people looked at Lin Qing and Fei Yan in the air vigilantly. While being horrified, many archers nervously drew their bows and aimed at Lin Qing and the others. Lin Qing was too lazy to talk nonsense with them and just sent out a telekinetic attack. Pa! In an instant, all the soldiers, whether they were outside the mountain or in a huge cave nearby, fainted with their eyes rolled back. Then, Lin Qing raised his hand and pointed it at the cave in the mountain peak, and shouted in a low voice, "Rise!" Boom! The next moment, the entire mountain began to shake violently. And it soon shattered. What's going on? At this time, in a huge crystal fish tank, in a cave inside the mountain, a beautiful woman looked at the violently shaking cave with some panic, and dust was falling down. She had an ominous premonition in her heart. Isn't this so unlucky? Is this cave going to collapse? Fortunately, this desperate situation did not occur. The next moment, she saw that the rock formations in the cave above her head seemed to be pulled apart by a terrifying external force. Then, she realized that the fish tank she was in was enveloped by a special spiritual force and was then pulled upwards suddenly. Switch to Lin Qing's perspective. Under the effect of his terrifying telekinesis, the upper part of the mountain was violently crushed. Then, he pulled out a dazzling crystal fish tank from inside the mountain. Is this Yanlingji? When Fei Yan saw the fish tank and the beautiful figure inside it, she immediately knew the identity of the woman. I felt a little sour in my heart. I thought to myself, did the leader of the group suddenly stop to save this witch? Although she had only known Lin Qing for more than 10 days, and had even only met him not long ago, deep down in her heart, she actually had a great liking for Lin Qing. There's nothing I can do about it, she's just a face lover. Not to mention that the group leader is not only outstanding in appearance and temperament. The other talents are top-notch. At this moment, she saw Lin Qing actually running to save another woman. It would be strange if she didn't have any thoughts in her mind. However, she did not blame Lin Qing, nor did she say anything more. She would not do anything that would lose points in Lin Qing's heart. Yes, it's Yanlingji. Lin Qing didn't know what Fei Yan was thinking at the moment, so he nodded and replied, then looked at Yanlingji who had been pulled not far in front of him, and asked with a smile. Right. After hearing this, Yanlingji in the fish tank quickly suppressed her astonishment and made a judgment in the shortest time possible. The person in front of her was the super strong man who broke the mountain and forcibly dragged her in the fish tank. out of the mountain. The key point is that at this time she and the fish tank were still floating in the air. This person's strength is so terrifying that it is hard to imagine. If we can get this man's help, wouldn't it be easy to rescue the master? With something in mind, she immediately put on a pitiful look, swam in the fish tank, asked Lin Qing for help, and looked excited. Tisk. When Fei Yan saw this, she smacked her lips in silence and commented, as expected of the Bayou demon girl, this enchantment has some tricks. What do you think, brother group leader? As she spoke, Fei Yan looked at Lin Qing. It seemed like a complaint, but in fact he was reminding Lin Qing that this witch was pretending to be so for him. She didn't doubt that Lin Qing could see through it. But I still couldn't help expressing my inner thoughts in this way. Hee hee. Seeing her jealous look, Lin Qing couldn't help but laugh and lowered his head and said, Fei Yan, are you jealous? No, I'm just afraid that you'll be fooled. When Fei Yan heard this, her pretty face flushed immediately and she retorted with pale and weak words. P.S. New book uploaded, please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 12. Yan Lingji's conditions, Ji Wuya who is plagued by bad luck, 2/6, please collect. Send flowers, and comment. Don't worry, Lin Qing smiled and shook his head, I'm not that bad. As he said that, he looked at Yan Lingji and said, put away your fire charm. It has no effect on me. Yan Lingji's expression suddenly changed. She no longer looked pitiful, but instead became a little gloomy. I miscalculated. It seems like this guy is not easy to fool. Yan Lingji thought to herself. At this time, Lin Qing waved at the fish tank. Crack. The lock on the fish tank broke directly. Immediately afterwards, Yan Lingji was pulled out along with the water inside. After doing all this, Lin Qing pulled Yan Lingji over and stood in the void not far in front of him. Then, with a thought, he put the huge fish tank into the group storage space. Brother Lin Qing, why do you keep this fish tank? Fei Yan was stunned and asked in confusion. Collect it, Lin Qing replied without blinking, this is made of 1,000-year-old crystal. It is extremely solid and definitely has a high collection value. After hearing this, Fei Yan was speechless and looked like, do you think I believe it or not? But he didn't say much. It's normal for men to have some weird habits. Thank you so much for saving my life. Yan Lingji has no way to repay you, and I am willing to serve you. Seeing that her seduction failed and unwilling to lose this golden thigh, Yan Lingji immediately changed her attitude and tried to stay with Lin Qing and get along well with him. Then, she would wait for an opportunity to ask Lin Qing to help her rescue Prince Tian's. Lin Qing saw through her thoughts and said directly, I can help you rescue Tian's, but from now on your life will belong to me, and Tian's will no longer be your master. How about that? What? Yan Lingji's pupils suddenly shrank when she heard this. She looked at Lin Qing with a vigilant expression and frowned, asking, you actually know the master? And you know my purpose? Who are you? She began to doubt Lin Qing's purpose in saving her. Actually, she was caught on purpose. The purpose is to use himself as bait and find the place where Tian's is imprisoned. Unfortunately, she failed. Seeing this, Fei Yan couldn't help but said contemptuously, don't be so self-righteous. Before Lin Qing could speak, with brother Lin Qing's strength and status, there is no need to plot against you and Tian's. It's your honor that brother Lin Qing is willing to give you a chance. It's up to you whether you agree or not. Don't think too much about it. Who does this witch think she is? This. Yan Lingji frowned after hearing this. Although Fei Yan's words were unpleasant to the ear, she had to admit that what she said made sense. With the strength that Lin Qing had shown before, there was really no need to plot against her. She thought quickly, looked at Lin Qing solemnly and said, okay. I promise you, as long as you can rescue the master, I will belong to you from now on. Okay, let's go first. The commotion here has attracted a lot of attention, and it will be lively here soon. Having said that, Lin Qing took Yan Lingji with him and flew away. Time goes back to a few minutes ago, when Lin Qing destroyed the mountain. What's that? From a distance of nearly 10 kilometers, Ji Wuya, Bai Yifei and Wei Zhuang all saw the shocking scene of the shattered mountains in the distance and were all shocked. They all rushed over there. At the same time, they all thought of Lin Qing and Fei Yan who had just flown away. Could this be the commotion caused by those two? With this thought in mind, it took more than 10 minutes for several people to arrive here one after another. Wei Zhuang just took a quick look, decided there was no valuable information, and left. Ji Wuya was different. The closer he got to the scene of the incident, the stronger the ominous premonition in his heart became. When he arrived at the broken mountain, he saw the vaguely familiar scene in the few remaining soldiers, and his face became completely gloomy. What, General? This isn't your territory, is it? Bai Yifei, who was standing by, noticed Ji Wei's expression and couldn't help but ask curiously. Good. Ji Wuya nodded affirmatively. This is a special prison I built, and it cost me a lot of money. Also, there is a big gift that Tiger prepared for me recently. I haven't even remembered to come over to receive the tasting yet, and this place has already been destroyed. Haha. Good. Very good. No matter who you are, no matter if you are from the Yin Yang family or not, you have angered me. Let's wait and see. Let's go. Return to Xinjiang. Having said that, Ji Wuya waved his hand angrily and called Shang Bai Yifei to rush to Xinjiang. Crack. As a result, the next moment, his feet suddenly went soft and he happened to hit a stumbling block. The whole person suddenly rolled down from halfway up the hill. Ji Wuya had thought about using his internal energy to stop himself. As expected, he got a stitch in the side. Not only did he fail to mobilize his abilities to stop his body, but he also spat out a mouthful of blood and suffered serious internal injuries. Bai Yifei, he just watched Ji Wuya trip and fall down like a drama. There was no sign of stopping. This left everyone speechless for a moment. What the hell is going on? General, wait for me. Seeing Ji Wuya rolling farther and farther away, faster and faster, Bai Yifei realized that something was wrong and quickly used his lightness skills to catch up with him. Of course, he wasn't chasing very fast. Because he knew very well that as a master of horizontal training, it was impossible for Ji Wuya to get hurt just by rolling down the mountain. At most, it would just be a little skin scrape and a little loss of face. It would be better to say that Ji Wuya personally staged an interesting drama for him. Quite interesting, isn't it? Don't think that he seems to be Ji Wei's subordinate. Actually, it is not. The two of them are more of a partnership. After that, Ji Wuya was unlucky all the way and returned to Xinjiang in a mess. Damn it, what on earth is going on? How could I suddenly become so unlucky? Something must have gone wrong. After finally returning to his house, Ji Wuya said in a deep voice with a gloomy face. Bai Yifei listened, touched his chin and pondered for a moment. It seems that we haven't done anything along the way. If we really want to talk about it, at most, you, General, are angry with the mysterious man from the Yin Yang school because the prison was destroyed and the gift that the Emerald Tiger prepared for you was taken away. Is it because of this? Ji Wei's expression became serious after hearing this and he said, it's possible. It seems that my bad luck started from that moment. Good. Very good. Ji Wuya became even more angry towards Lin Qing. Crack. But the next moment, the seat under him shattered, and for some reason, he was slow to react and fell directly to the ground. At the same time, the wine glass in his hand that was originally pouring wine into his mouth accidentally poured directly into his mouth and got stuck. Gurgle. For a moment, the wine that filled his throat and the stuck wine glass almost made him suffocate. The whole person was choked to the point of tears and snot running down his face. Bai Yifei. It's confirmed. It was because Ji Wuya had developed hostility and even hatred towards Lin Qing. For a moment, Bai Yifei felt a chill down his spine. It's so fucking weird. General, are you okay? Bai Yifei wanted to help Ji Wuya, but was afraid of being infected with bad luck by Ji Wuya. Fortunately, Ji Wuya was still very patient and quickly forced the wine glass out of his mouth. I'm breathing smoothly now. The corner of his mouth was scratched by the wine glass and blood was flowing out. Looks so miserable. Damn it, what the hell is going on? Will it ever end? Ji Wuya angrily threw the wine glass to the ground and said helplessly. It's so frustrating. When has he ever been so aggrieved? P.S. New book uploaded, please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 13 for newcomers, Lay movie, 3/6, please collect. Flowers, comments. General, I can confirm that these are really caused by your hostility and hatred towards the mysterious person of the Yin Yang family. Otherwise, it cannot be explained. Bai Yifei kindly reminded. Maybe, but when did the Yin-Yang family have such a method? Why haven't I heard of it before? Ji Wuya had a gloomy look on his face and said with some disbelief. Although he said so, in his heart he already believed it to about 70%. Indeed, if this is not the case, the explanation is different. Before, there were other reasons for the bad luck. But what about just now? His hatred for Lin Qing had just risen in his heart again, but as a result, not only did the extremely solid and precious throne shatter for no reason, but he was also almost choked to death by the wine glass in the wine. It's simply weird. Indeed. Bai Yifei nodded in agreement. Maybe it's just that person who is special. To be on the safe side, you'd better not feel hostility or even hatred towards him in the future. If you really can't help it, try to control yourself and stop thinking about this person. If we don't have any more bad luck, it will prove that our guess is correct. If you're still worried, you can try a few tests. I believe you'll get clear results soon. No matter what Ji Wuya thought, Bai Yifei himself was not going to think too much about Lin Qing before confirming the result. Not to mention feeling hostility and hatred towards him. Then let's try it as you said, Lord. Afterwards, Ji Wuya conducted experiments on several of his subordinates. Finally, he came to the definite conclusion that it was indeed Lin Qing who caused him to be so unlucky. For a moment, Ji Wuya really wanted to kill Lin Qing. However, for the sake of his own life, he couldn't do that. Not only can't you do this, you can't even think about it. It's so frustrating. Lin Qing didn't know that Ji Wuya and Bai Yifei had already roughly guessed that anyone who was hostile, malicious or even hateful towards him would become extremely unlucky. He took Fei Yan and Yanlingji to find an unguarded section of the city wall and flew into Xinjiang city silently. Then, he spent some money to buy a house near Zilinshuan in the city and settled down temporarily. At this moment, a prompt sound suddenly rang in the chat group. Open black lens bracket ding. Congratulations to the new member, Nanoka Aikida, for joining the chat group. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ding. Congratulations to the new member, Yan Yang Nai, for joining the chat group. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ding. Congratulations to the new member, Young Master of Peach Blossom Island, for joining the chat group. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ding. Congratulations to the new member, Centennial Taoist, for joining the chat group. Close black lens bracket. 4 prompt tones sounded in succession, blasting out all the lurking and offline group members. Open black lens bracket U Bukchun close black lens bracket. Wow, 4 new people have joined. Welcome, welcome. Remember to change the group name, digest the information instilled in the chat group, and complete the verification. Open black lens bracket Kanae butterfly close black lens bracket. Welcome. Open black lens bracket Bushima Seiko close black lens bracket. Welcome newcomer. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket. Welcome everyone. But do we not need to invite new people now? At Lin Qing. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. Welcome. Yes, I changed the invitation rules. From now on, the group chat will automatically collect world coordinates and then automatically invite people. He is too lazy to do it himself. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket. No wonder. But it's good this way. New people joining from time to time is a little surprise. Oh, right, brother Lin Qing, what are you going to do with Yanlingji next? Open black lens bracket Kanae butterfly close black lens bracket. Yanlingji, isn't that the Bayou demoness from Sister Fei Yan's world? When did you come into contact with her? Open black lens bracket Bushima Seiko close black lens bracket. Same curiosity. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. Nothing, I just happened to be passing by and saved her. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket. Of course. The group leader is showing off his power today. Then, Fei Yan described the entire process of Lin Qing's rescue in the group. It caused a burst of exclamations. It's so terrifying to destroy a mountain with ease. Open black lens bracket Lay movie close black lens bracket. Wow. It seems the group leader is pretty good. Open black lens bracket Kanae Kocho close black lens bracket. You're pretty good. You're a newbie and you're so arrogant. Are you better than the group leader? Let me see. As they spoke, not only Butterfly Kanae, but other old group members also ran to check the information about Lay Movie World. I use quantum browsing, which is quite fast. Open black lens bracket Kanae butterfly close black lens bracket. At Lay Movie, I am so ignorant. I didn't expect you to be a god. So amazing. Open black lens bracket Bushima Seiko close black lens bracket. She's also very beautiful. And the culture of your country is very similar to my country. Open black lens bracket Lay Movie close black lens bracket. Oh. Let me see. Lay Dianying immediately checked the information about Busujima Seiko's world. Apocalyptic world. Ordinary modern technological world. It's quite magical. How could ordinary humans create such a wonderful world? This is unimaginable in the world of Genshin Impact. Mortals can create such a brilliant civilization without the help of gods. Unbelievable. It's such a pity that such a prosperous world is about to fall into doomsday. Lay Movie is a bit regretful. However, she had no idea of saving the world for the time being. Then, she used quantum reading to check the information of other group members, including the new group members' world, before returning to the group. Open black lens bracket Lay Movie close black lens bracket. At Dudao Huzi, the culture is indeed quite similar, the only pity is that your world is about to be destroyed. Open black lens bracket Bushima Seiko close black lens bracket, maybe. Knowing how powerful Lay Dianying was, Seiko thought about asking her for help. But after thinking about it, he still didn't say anything. Wait a little longer, I'm not familiar with her yet, so it's hard for me to speak. Besides, the group leader has agreed to help, maybe he can solve the problems in our world. Seiko consoled herself. Of course, she also wanted to meet the group leader. Open black lens bracket Lay Movie close black lens bracket. By the way, at Lin Qing, group leader, why is there no information about your world? Is this considered a privilege? Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. Not really. It's just that a simple group chat cannot predict my past and future. Also, the world I live in is actually just an ordinary technological world like Seiko's world. There's nothing special about it. Well, at least that's the case for now. Open black lens bracket Lay Movie close black lens bracket. Is that so? It seems that you, the group leader, are quite mysterious. Even she could predict the past and future through the chat group, but the group owner could not. If the group leader did not lie, then he was undoubtedly much more complicated than she had imagined. However, even from the information that she was instilled with before the group chat about the group owner not being to be messed with, combined with the past chat records of the group chat that she viewed, it can be seen that the group owner is not simple. Is this a person with extraordinary luck? Does this kind of person really exist? This is even more exaggerated than Destiny Child. Young man, you have aroused my interest. Lay Dianying murmured, touching his chin meaningfully. Lin Qing, Lay Movie, kind of interesting. Also, it seems that two people have joined the original world this time, and there is also a coconut sheep, which should be Ganyu, right? Maybe, we can go to the original world to have a look. With my incredible luck, I should be able to get a god's eye directly, right? Lin Qing touched his chin and murmured with a slightly raised mouth. He is quite interested in the eye of God. After all, it is a way to become a god, and it can also help people master the power of elements. It also has a significant effect on him at the moment. P.S. New book uploaded, please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 14. The old group leader who was whipped again, 4/6, please collect. Comment. At this time, Feiyan on the side couldn't help but ask curiously, is this Lay Dianying really a god? She was a little bit unbelievable. How long has it been? Chat groups are starting to invite gods to join the group. Is the span too big? Yes. Lin Qing nodded affirmatively. It is indeed a god. But don't take it too seriously. In different worlds, the definition and strength of gods are different. Besides, we have already joined the group chat. Sooner or later, you and I will become or even surpass gods. The gods in the world of Genshin Impact are strong, but not strong either. In fact, that's just how it is. It depends on what world you are comparing it with. When Feiyan heard Lin Qing's words, her eyes lit up and she smiled and said, well, I will try my best. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. It's just so. It's just that my fate and luck are special. At least right now, my strength is far inferior to yours. Open black lens bracket lay movie close black lens bracket, don't fool me. The group chat has been warned not to have any ill will, hostility, or hatred towards you, otherwise the consequences will be disastrous. My intuition tells me that it is true. I can only say that your luck is so incredible that it can even affect a god like me. That old group leader's death was not unjust. No wonder the chat group likes the new group owner so much. This is indeed a golden thigh that has not yet grown up. But with such incredible luck, it is only a matter of time before Lin Qing grows up. There is absolutely no possibility of premature death. Maybe I should get along with him, too. When he grows up in the future, will it be possible for him to reverse time and space and help me revive my sister? Lei Dianying thought to himself. If it was before she joined the group chat, she would definitely not have had such a seemingly naive idea. But after joining the group chat, her horizons were broadened and she felt that reversing time and space and resurrecting people was not impossible. Thinking of this, her dead heart began to stir for the first time in a long time. Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket, I second the motion. But he deserved his death. Lord Lin Qing is the real qualified leader. Open black lens bracket Bushima Seiko close black lens bracket, I give you a thumbs up. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket, ditto. Open black lens bracket Kanae Kocho close black lens bracket, ah, the old group leader is dead, and died a tragic death. Wouldn't it be bad to keep whipping his corpse like this? Of course, I definitely don't mean to pity him. I also think that Master Lin Qing is the best group leader, hee. As for the old group leader, goodbye, amen. Open black lens bracket lay movie close black lens bracket, what's the point of having a group leader who is narrow-minded and only wants to trick people and make money? The group chat was the right choice. If the group owner was still the old one at this time, she would definitely be very disappointed in the group chat. Open black lens bracket Zhang Sanfang close black lens bracket, I can only say that when virtue does not match the position, there will be disaster. The old group leader obviously has a poor character and a broad mind, and he will die. Even if he hadn't met fellow Taoist Lin Qing, his final outcome would not have been good. Everything has been predetermined. Character and character determine destiny. Open black lens bracket Zhang Sanfang close black lens bracket, I am the old Taoist Zhang Sanfang, greetings to all the Taoist friends. Greetings to the group leader. Open black lens bracket Huang Rong close black lens bracket, Huang Rong from Peach Blossom Island, nice to meet you all, and to meet the group leader brother, he. I also agree with what you said, Lao Zhang. When she said this, a strange look appeared on Huang Rong's face, based on the past and future of the two worlds. Zhang Sanfang's world should be in the future of our world according to the timeline. According to the original trajectory, I will marry Guo Jing in the future and give birth to Guo Shang. And Guo Shang is the white moonlight in Zhang Laodao's heart. This relationship is really confusing. However, Huang Rong quickly sorted out her complicated emotions and hummed proudly. Hee. But that was the original destiny. Now that I have joined the group chat, everything is naturally different. That Guo Jing looks stupid, like a piece of wood. I don't want to marry him. Humph. She is the master of her own destiny. What? Wronger, what are you talking about? Who are you going to marry? At this time, Huang Yaoxi's exclamation was heard from a distance. The next moment, Huang Yaoxi arrived. His eyes were still looking around, as if trying to find something. Daddy. Huang Rong was delighted when she saw Huang Yaoxi suddenly appear, but then she suddenly thought of something and her face turned pale. She turned her head and said angrily, Humph. Why are you here, you girl? Huang Yaoxi saw this and immediately had a headache. Okay. Don't be angry. Daddy is doing this for your own good. It's too dangerous outside, and you're not strong enough, and you're so pretty. What if you run into a bad guy? By the way, who did you say you were going to marry? When did you get to know people from outside the island? Huang Yaoxi was very nervous at this time. I thought to myself, could it be that a strange man came to the island when I wasn't paying attention? If that were the case, he would definitely kill that person. Oh, what? Huang Rong was speechless after hearing this. Things are not what you think. Then, Huang Rong simply told Huang Yaoxi everything about the chat group and what she saw in the future. Anyway, there is no prohibition on such things in the group chat, and Huang Yaoxi is his own Father. Naturally, she didn't care. Besides, there were so many good things in that mall that even she, who didn't like martial arts, was tempted. If you want to exchange it, it's best to discuss it with your father. Is this actually the case? Wronger, you are indeed a person blessed by God. You actually encountered such a wonderful experience. After some verification, Huang Yaoshi completely believed what Huang Rong said and couldn't help but get excited. At the same time, he thought to himself, this group chat is definitely not something that an ordinary person can create. Maybe there are immortals and gods behind it. He is still an extremely powerful immortal god. Now even gods have appeared in this group chat, so is it possible to resurrect Ah Heng in the future? Thinking of this, Huang Yaoshi became even more excited. He immediately told Huang Rong his idea. Resurrect mother. Huang Rong was slightly startled after hearing this, and then said with some excitement and anticipation, if there is a chance, I will definitely not miss it. However, the most urgent matter is that I, Dad, have decided that we should first obtain enough points to exchange for powerful martial arts in the group mall to improve our strength and lifespan. Then, use this to obtain more treasures and secret books to exchange for more points, in case of emergency. I believe that even if a method or treasure for resurrection appears in the future, it will definitely require a lot of points. It's always better to prepare early. In case a method of resurrection appears, we won't have enough points and can only watch helplessly. What do you think? She has always been smart and naturally understands the importance of preparing for a rainy day. As for whether it's possible to get it for free, she believes there is no free lunch in this world. Even if there is, this free service may represent a greater cost. Well, Wronger, you are really thoughtful. Let's do it this way. After hearing this, Huang Yaoshi stroked his beard and nodded affirmatively. He immediately took Huang Rong to the treasure house. In group chat, open black lens bracket U Bukchun close black lens bracket, welcome Master Zhang. Welcome Miss Huang Rong. I didn't expect to see Master Zhang alive. The chat group is really incredible. After hearing this, a dark line suddenly appeared on Zhang Sanfeng's forehead. Open black lens bracket Zhang Sanfeng close black lens bracket, the living Zhang Zhenren or something. I feel offended. However, Taoist fellow Yu's world actually has Wudang, and it has been passed down for so many years. It's quite magical and gratifying to think about it. If I have the chance, I really want to visit Wudang in your world. Naturally, he had already read all the information from the group members, so it was normal for him to know that there was Wudang in the world of Smiling Proud Wanderer. P.S. New book uploaded, please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 15. Win-win cooperation between Yu Bukchun and Zhang Sanfeng, 5/6, please. Bookmark. Comment. Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket. Zhang Zhenren is always welcome if he wants to come. How could he not want to meet a living legend? With Master Zhang's attainments in martial arts, maybe just a few words of advice from him would be of great benefit to me. Open black lens bracket Zhang Sanfeng close black lens bracket, haha. That's great, I'll come visit you when I'm done with my work for the time being. Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket, oh. Master Zhang is very busy recently. I don't know your timeline yet. Could it be that Master Zhang is currently in the period before his 100th birthday banquet? He remembered that Zhang Sanfeng's initial name when he joined the group was the 100-year-old Taoist priest. According to the usual nature of group chats, the initial names of group members are closely related to the group members. Open black lens bracket Zhang Sanfeng close black lens bracket, indeed. To be honest, this group chat came at a very timely moment. Otherwise, I would not have known that something would happen next that would make me regret for the rest of my life. Yuan Ting really has not given up his desire to destroy me. Fortunately, I now know everything in advance, so the result will naturally change. Also, maybe because I haven't been active in the martial arts world for a long time, some people think I'm too old to walk. After this birthday party, I have to go to Dadu for a visit, hehe. Do you really think that the Taoist priest has no temper? Have these people forgotten that he once did great deeds in exterminating demons and killed so many people in the Yuan court? He has never been a nice guy. Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket. I fully support this. If needed, I can always come over to help. Ahem, he would never admit that he wanted to visit the Washan sect in Zhang Sanfeng's world. Well, I really just wanted to take a look. At most, I can flip through the books in their collection to make up for the missing classics of the Washan sect in their world. Open black lens bracket Zhang Sanfeng close black lens bracket. You are kind enough, fellow Taoist. We will talk about this later. Open black lens bracket Huang Rong close black lens bracket. Master Yu, are you really going to help? Why don't I believe you? Are you interested in the Washan sect's secret manual in old Zhang's world? Huang Rong was deeply shocked when she read the information about this ruthless man who castrated himself for the sake of strength. Then, I was filled with contempt for this person, losing sight of the important and pursuing the trivial, using any means necessary to gain power. In the end, even his wife and daughter were killed. As a result, the Washan sect completely declined. It's totally incomprehensible. Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket. He was helpless. Who did I offend? Why is Huang Rong so malicious towards me? Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket. Miss Huang, how can you look at me like that? I am not that kind of person. After all, I am respected as a gentleman swordsman by the people of Zhonghu. I would never do such a thing. Well, I can only say that this little girl is really good at judging people. Although, he had already received the super-enhanced version of Zixia magic skill which could directly reach the realm of heaven and man as a gift from the group leader. But he never has too many good secrets, especially the classics and secret books that were lost by the Washan sect in the past. He can't use these himself, but he can use them to train disciples. He alone cannot expand the Washan sect. As for teaching the upgraded version of Zixia magic to all disciples, this is absolutely not possible. At least, it is not possible at the moment. Unless one day his cultivation level exceeds the heavenly man realm and he no longer needs this secret book, and has a better secret book, then it will be possible. Open black lens bracket Huang Rong close black lens bracket. Haha, guess whether I believe it or not. Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Zhang Sanfeng close black lens bracket. Haha. No need to argue. I can probably understand what Master Yu is thinking. I can allow you to come to Washan sect to collect the secret manuals there, and take them back to develop your Washan sect. But the rights to list these secret manuals in the mall belong to me. What do you think? Also, when I go to your world, please allow me to copy a copy of the Wudang sect's martial arts manual from your world. The smiling proud wanderer looked at the world where the martial arts level was not as good as his own world of the Heaven Sword and Dragon Saber. But the Wudang sect there has been developing for so many years, so there must be something good about it. In addition, he was too embarrassed to go to the Washan sect in his own world to collect secret books because of his status. It would be better to leave it to Yu Bukchun, the leader of Washan in later generations. Isn't this a win-win situation? Yu Bukchun got the secret book, and he got points. Even though Zhang Laodao is like this, he is also very envious of the secret books that can lead to the heavenly realm uploaded by the group owner in the group mall. Although, by joining the group chat, with the help of the group chat, he can break the limitations of his own world. With his understanding, he will definitely be able to create secret books of the same level in the future. But how much time would that waste? He is already 100 years old. If he doesn't continue to make breakthroughs, he won't have many years left to live. It is better to take shortcuts in the early stages, improve your cultivation first, and then extend your life. Moreover, even if he bought the secret book, he would not copy it completely, but would selectively comprehend and absorb it and incorporate it into his own skills. This also shows Lao Zhang's confidence in his own understanding. However, Yu Bukchun was very surprised when he saw Zhang Sanfeng's words. Master Zhang really has a bigger vision. He replied immediately and eagerly. Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket. No problem. Thank you Master Zhang for your generosity and understanding. I'll do as you say. Open black lens bracket Zhang Sanfeng close black lens bracket. Haha. No problem, no problem. Open black lens bracket Huang Rong close black lens bracket. Tisk, you are indeed worthy of being me. Master Zhang, no wonder you are revered as a legend. I admire you. Even Huang Rong had to admire Zhang Sanfeng's broad-mindedness and magnanimity. It seems that even daddy can't compare to Taoist Zhang. Huang Rong sighed in her heart. Open black lens bracket Zhang Sanfeng close black lens bracket, haha. Miss Huang, you are too kind. You are too kind. I am just being generous to others and have ulterior motives. I don't deserve such praise from you. When he saw Huang Rong, Zhang Sanfeng seemed to see the girl who had entered his heart like an elf. Huang Rong, who joined the group chat, is unlikely to marry Guo Jing from their world in the future, right? In this case, it is highly unlikely that Miss Guo Shang from that world will be born again. Even if she shows up, she probably won't be the Guo Shang I know. Never mind. Thinking of this, Zhang Sanfeng shook his head in self-mockery. Why think about these things? After 100 years, haven't you seen through all this yet? Although he said so, Zhang Sanfeng himself knew that although he had let it go, there was always a figure in his heart that he would never forget. At this time, some people in the group also reacted and noticed the special relationship between the two. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket. At Huang Rong, Miss Ronger, it seems that your future daughter Guo Shang is Master Zhang's white moonlight, right? Huang Rong was shocked when she saw this. Why say it out loud? Wouldn't it be better if no one mentioned this and just let it go? It makes everyone so embarrassed. This Fei Yan is so abominable. Huang Rong muttered inwardly with some rage. Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket, really? I almost forgot about this. At Huang Rong, Miss Huang, what do you think? Huang Rong rolled her eyes in annoyance. Open black lens bracket Huang Rong close black lens bracket, I'll just sit and watch. Don't tell me that Taoist Zhang and I are from different worlds. Even if we are in the same world, from the moment I joined the group chat, I could never marry Guo Jing. Of course, it's impossible for her to give birth to Guo Shang, so don't even think about it. Especially, Master Yu, I haven't even mentioned your future palace yet. You're teasing me. Now, open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket. He was indeed getting carried away. He was careless. Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket. Sorry. I was wrong. Goodbye. The next moment, Yu Bukchun directly used his actual combat skills to escape offline and ran away. Open black lens bracket Huang Rong close black lens bracket. Tisk. Wow, this girl is really clever and eccentric, and has quick reactions. It's really interesting. When Fei Yan saw the group message, she couldn't help but curl up the corners of her mouth and praised. She began to like the clever and eccentric little girl. Much more interesting and cuter than her sister, Luna. P.S. New book uploaded, please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 16. Ganyu, the chosen worker, the meaning of the chat group, 6/6, please collect flowers. Lin Qing, who was standing by, shook his head in amusement after hearing this. You'd better not mess with her. Be careful that she might get attached to you and target you in the future. This girl has great talent and intelligence. Fei Yan listened, but she didn't agree with it and said, it's like someone has poor talent. It's basically impossible for her to surpass me. Especially since she's so lazy, it's even more impossible. In terms of talent, she felt that even Huang Rong was far inferior to her. Even, she might not be able to catch up with her sister, Moon Goddess. In this regard, Fei Yan has absolute confidence. Well, as long as you don't compare yourself to a wall hanger like Lin Qing or a monster like Zhang Laodao, it'll be fine. Open black lens bracket lay movie close black lens bracket. At Coconut Sheep, you should be the Ganyu from Liu, right? Why don't you speak? Ganyu, who had just finished a bunch of tasks, heard someone at her in the group and quickly opened the group chat interface. When I saw it was a lame movie, I suddenly felt nervous. Open black lens bracket Ganyu close black lens bracket. Sorry, I was busy processing documents. Hello, Your Majesty the Thunder God. As you said, I am indeed Ganyu, the mystic of the 7 stars of Liu. What can I do for you? She felt that today was magical. Not only did you join an incredibly magical chat group, the key point is that Inazuma's Thunder God also appeared in this chat group. It's incredible. It seems that Inazuma has been secluded in recent years. I heard that things are very bad over there right now, even Thor doesn't care. I wonder if the situation will change in advance after Thor joins the group chat. Or will it change only after the travelers have been there? Thinking of this, Ganyu shook her head again and stopped thinking about it. She is so busy dealing with Liu's various documents every day that she has no time to take care of Inazuma's affairs. It would be better to let the matter of Inazuma be taken care of by the Thunder God himself. However, the Rock King is actually Zhongli. This is really, When Ganyu thought of this, she didn't know what to say for a moment. All in all, it's full of regrets. It is really hard to connect this bastard Zhongli with the Geo King. It always feels a bit too inconsistent. Should we tell Ningguang and the others about these things, including the group chat? Ganyu rubbed his brows with a headache and said, forget it. Let's meet with the old man Yan Wangdijun first and talk to him before making a decision. She wanted to save trouble by not saying it. But she was not the only one who joined the group chat in their world, there was also a Inazuma. Thunder God, that's a completely different matter. Open black lens bracket lay movie close black lens bracket, nothing much, just a little curious. It turns out that one world can have multiple characters join a group chat. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket. This is also my doubt, at Lin Qing, group leader brother, won't you tell me about it? Lin Qing looked at the group chat, then looked at Fei Yan in front of him, and rolled his eyes. Speechlessly, is it fun to play like this? Fei Yan nodded with a smile, it's very interesting. As long as you are happy. Lin Qing shrugged helplessly. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. There has never been a rule that only one group member can appear in a world. Everything is random and depends entirely on the mechanism of the group chat itself. He thinks it's necessary for a world to have multiple group members, so he will naturally invite multiple people. There's no need to overthink it. Open black lens bracket lay movie close black lens bracket. I see. By the way, what is the purpose of the chat group dragging us into this group chat? It's impossible to do meaningless things, right? Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. It's just a win-win agreement between the group chat and the worlds, influencing the worlds of the group members in the form of group chat. It's just to promote information exchange and the growth and advancement of each world. As a middleman, group chat can obtain the world's essence as labor fees to promote its own growth, that's all. After all, there is no essential difference between group chat and the main God space. They are all for the purpose of obtaining the origin of the world and promoting their own growth and evolution. It's just that the method chosen is different. Group chat focuses on win-win cooperation, while the main God space in many systems focus on plunder. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. Our constant communication, trading of items and techniques from different worlds, changing the direction of the world, and other behaviors are constantly affecting our respective worlds and promoting his growth. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. The group task function has not appeared yet, otherwise, there should be extra tasks and points rewards for doing these. So, work hard on chatting to improve group activity, upgrade the group chat as soon as possible, and add new features. Keep working hard and everyone will have a bright future. Open black lens bracket lay movie close black lens bracket. Is that so? I understand. If it can promote the repair and advancement of the world, I wonder if it can change the damaged state of our world and eliminate wear and tear and other problems, or even enhance the power and authority of the god so that she can go back and resurrect her sister. Although he knew it was a bit too early to think about these things now, Lay Movie still couldn't help but look forward to it. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. Theoretically, yes. But your world still has the laws of nature. Even if you succeed in being promoted, whether the wear and tear can be eliminated depends on whether he modifies the rules. The so-called wear and tear, after all, is just a shackle set by the laws of nature to restrict the gods. This thing does not exist naturally in the world. Open black lens bracket lay movie close black lens bracket. Justice. I haven't seen justice since more than 400 years ago. Therefore, she has no idea what the current situation of Tianli is. I hope that will change by then. Otherwise, when I have enough strength, I will overturn even the justice of heaven to show you. Even the law of nature cannot stop her from achieving her goal. God's will. Ganyu saw Lei Dian's mouth open and worn out, and he closed his mouth to tell the truth, and he just felt trembling. The level is too high, and she cannot access it at all at the moment. So, She just observed and took notes, ready to tell Zhongli about it when they met. It's up to him to judge and decide. Open black lens bracket Zhang Sanfeng close black lens bracket, world promotion. This is really a great topic. If the world is promoted, the upper limit of cultivation should be easily broken, allowing living beings to break through to a higher realm, right? As early as after he broke through to the innate level, he realized that he could not break through further due to the limitations of the world. So, strictly speaking, Zhang Sanfeng at this time was actually still in the state of innate great perfection. However, his state of mind had already surpassed the category of innateness, and even surpassed the category of master, reaching the realm of Grand Master. In the past, he couldn't go further because of the limitations of the world. But since joining the group chat, he found that the shackles that had been oppressing him had completely disappeared. He can break through at any time. Well, the premise is that there is enough vitality in heaven and earth. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket, of course. The higher the level of the world, the stronger it is. In theory, the more abundant the heaven and earth energy will be, and the higher the realm of cultivation that can be accommodated will naturally be. Of course, some worlds are special and do not have the primordial energy of heaven and earth. Or maybe the energy of heaven and earth is simply in an inert state. Even if the world level is very strong, it will limit the level of practitioners, or even simply limit the appearance of practitioners. Open black lens bracket Zhang Sanfeng close black lens bracket, I understand. Thank you for clearing up my confusion. I know what to do. Next, even for the sake of his disciples, he will work hard to lead the world to continuous advancement. Create a path for them to move forward. P.S. New book uploaded, please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 17. Land God level background, Lin Qing, I am just an ordinary wall hanger, 1/6. Please collect. Open black lens bracket ding. Group member Zhang Sanfeng uploaded the Pure Yang Wuji Gong, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket bite, close black lens bracket. Oh, Lin Qing saw that the new group members had started uploading various techniques, martial arts, and even treasures, and immediately smiled with satisfaction. That's right. How can I make progress if I keep everything hidden? If I can't make progress, I can't create more and stronger skills. How can you make progress? Mutual benefit and reciprocity are the key. As he spoke, Lin Qing immediately purchased all the techniques uploaded by Zhang Sanfeng and Huang Rong. Then, he said hello to Feiyan and Yan Lingji, found a secluded room, and began to meditate in seclusion. Yan Lingji looked at Lin Qing walking into the room, her eyes rolling around, not knowing what she was thinking. Feiyan gave her a meaningful look and warned her, although brother Lin Qing saved you and seemed to like you very much. But you'd better behave yourself and don't cause any trouble for me, otherwise, I will definitely make you regret it. As he spoke, a golden dragon shadow flashed across Feiyan's body. Yan Lingji, who was originally a little disdainful, only felt an extremely terrifying aura falling on her, almost pressing her to the ground. So strong, I was careless. Yan Lingji felt the huge gap between herself and Feiyan, and immediately restrained her contemptuous expression. Instead, she looked at Feiyan with a serious face and asked in a low voice, "You are actually a grandmaster. Who are you?" She could see that Feiyan was not much older than her, but had already entered the realm of grandmaster. So terrifying. Yin Yang family, Dongjun Fei Yan. Feiyan replied word by word. Yin Yang family. After hearing this, Yan Lingji suddenly understood something. No wonder. For a moment, I became even more wary of Feiyan. The Yin Yang family is not easy to mess with. Moreover, Feiyan's name in the Yin Yang school is Dongjun, which shows how high her status is in the Yin Yang school. I'm afraid he is second only to the leader Dongwang Tai. Can't afford to offend. Yan Lingji decisively admitted defeat. I understand, I won't cause you any trouble. But, I wonder when Master Lin Qing will help me rescue Crown Prince Tian's. She cares more about this. Feiyan knew the future, so she was naturally aware that Tian's would soon be released by Bai Yifei to bite people, but she would not tell Yan Lingji. She just said, wait. You will get what you want soon. After saying that, Feiyan fetched a cushion and sat down at the door of Lin Qing's retreat room. While protecting him, she also began to practice silently. Yan Lingji, At this time, in the room, open black lens bracket, you have acquired a large number of skills, martial arts, and related insights. With great luck, you have an epiphany and further improved the 10,000 Dao Ju, raising it to the level of a land immortal, and created matching fists, palms, legs, swords, etc. 10 perfect martial arts. Close black lens bracket. After completing the creation of the method, Lin Qing practiced his newly perfected technique as if by instinct. Suddenly, a terrifying energy vortex appeared above him. Countless vital energies from heaven and earth poured into his body, helping his spirit, energy, and mind to advance simultaneously and further strengthen his foundation. This is, such a big commotion naturally could not be hidden from the attention of the masters above the innate level in the city. Ji Wuya and his team had already determined where Lin Qing and his team would stay in the city. Out of fear of Lin Qing's strange behavior, he ordered his subordinates to keep an eye on Lin Qing's movements. However, he did not stop others from investigating. He even wished that other people would provoke Lin Qing and experience the feeling of being unlucky. It is better to share happiness with others than to enjoy it alone. Why is he the only one who is unlucky? Over here at Zilinshuan, it's this person who's causing all this trouble again. Sure enough, wherever this kind of person goes, there will be no peace. Wei Zhuang stood on the roof and looked at Lin Qing's yard, frowning slightly. Is this caused by the person who made the breakthrough? Did he make a breakthrough? This shouldn't be possible. Shouldn't we go and take a look? Zi Nu, who was standing by, had appeared here at some point and asked with a puzzled look in her eyes. No need. Wei Zhuang shook his head coldly. This person is too mysterious and powerful, it is better not to provoke him, so as not to make him unhappy. Just make sure they're not enemies. After saying that, Wei Zhuang flashed back into the room. Lin Qing. After more than an hour, his foundation was rebuilt and solidified once again. There has been considerable improvement in my spirit and energy. At the same time, his cultivation also broke through to the third level of the innate realm. Only then did he stop practicing. The skills that were updated to the level of land immortals during the epiphany just now, such as Hun Shi Yulong, Zisha Shenggong, Life Breathing Method, Chunyong Wu Jigong, Tai Chi Shenggong, Shi Quan Wu Dao, were uploaded to the group mall and updated. Then he stood up, opened the door and walked out of the room. You're out of seclusion so soon. What did you gain? When Fei Yan saw Lin Qing coming out, she immediately stopped practicing, stood up and was about to ask something. Then I heard the group chat notification sound. When she looked at it distractedly, she was shocked and couldn't help but look up at Lin Qing and asked in shock, "Is this the result of your retreat just now? During this period of time, not only have you made a breakthrough in your cultivation, but you have also raised the upper limits of many of your skills to the level of land immortals. Are you really immortal? How can this be something a mortal can do? As you can see, I'm just an ordinary beginner." Lin Qing smiled and spread his hands and joked. There's nothing we can do, cheating is just so awesome. He felt that his heaven-defying luck could, to some extent, replace his heaven-defying enlightenment. For him, enlightenment is as easy as eating and drinking. After hearing this, Fei Yan couldn't help but roll her eyes. I don't believe you. At this time, the group was also in an uproar. Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket, damn it. What did I see? It's only been a short time, but the group leader has already upgraded many of his skills to the level of land immortals. I feel like my training speed is far behind the speed at which the group leader upgrades his skills. It's really discouraging. However, this is also good. At least, I don't have to worry about the lack of follow-up to the technique in the future. A land immortal, he didn't even know how many years of practice it would take him to achieve that goal. Why doesn't the group chat have a function to help speed up cultivation? If there is, my cultivation will not be restricted by the world level. I will be restricted by the concentration of heaven and earth energy, and my improvement will be slow. Yu Bukchun thought with some regret. It seems that I also need to find an opportunity to go to Miss Fei Yan's world to practice for a while. Zhang Sanfeng's world can actually satisfy his training needs for the next period of time. But if he could go to a world where the vitality of heaven and earth was more abundant, he would naturally choose the better world. As for the world of Genshin Impact, it's too dangerous, so he's not ready to go for the time being. Open black lens bracket Kanae Kocho close black lens bracket, yes. You are worthy of being the group leader. Open black lens bracket Zhang Sanfeng close black lens bracket. I actually saw the pure Yang Wujigong and Taiji Shengong of the immortal level on land, and the group leader had only purchased them for an hour or two. In just such a short period of time, the group leader has actually made new progress and completed the upgrade of these techniques. It is so terrifying. Open black lens bracket lay movie close black lens bracket. This level of understanding is indeed a bit abnormal. Group leader, are you sure you don't have an incredible level of understanding? Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. Luck, it's all luck. I just get enlightenment more easily, it has nothing to do with my comprehension. Learn more about the innate enlightenment constitution. When Lei Dianying and others heard Lin Qing's words, they couldn't help but twitch their eyes slightly. It's easier to have an epiphany. Isn't enlightenment something that can only be encountered by chance? When did it become so easy? However, if it was a sudden realization, it would explain and understand why Lin Qing behaved so amazingly. P.S. New book uploaded, please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 18. On Han Fei, I am really a visitor from outer space, 2/6, please collect flowers, comments, in the next few days. In addition to setting aside some time for cultivation every day, Lin Qing spends the rest of his time either traveling with Yan Lingji and Fei Yan, or hanging out in Zi-Lan Zan alone. During this process, he naturally met Zi Nu, Han Fei and others. Because Wei Zhuang had met him, Zi Nu and others also knew who Lin Qing was. Because Lin Qing was quite approachable, and Zi Nu and the others were curious about him and wanted to get close to him. It took a long time for the few of them to get to know each other. Given Brother Lin's strength, I have never heard of him before. I guess I am just ignorant. That day, Han Fei and Lin Qing were drinking, and he couldn't help but speak tentatively. Oh, after hearing this, Lin Qing glanced at him and said with a smile, Brother Han, there is no need to test me. I am not from any force, and I will not endanger your country. You can rest assured about this. Instead of caring about where I come from, you should think more about how to change the situation in South Korea, otherwise, Hangguo's defeat will not be far away. After hearing this, Han Fei's pupils suddenly shrank and he stared at Lin Qing for a long time. But Lin Qing acted very calmly and nothing could be seen. After a long time, Han Fei withdrew his gaze and said dejectedly, it seems that Brother Lin has a clear understanding of the situation of my country, South Korea. I also want to turn the situation around and change everything. But it's too difficult. There are too many elbows, making it difficult for me to move. The more he tried, the more desperate he became. South Korea is rotten to the core, and it is not something that a small person like Han Fei can change. But it was impossible for him to give up. After all, this is the motherland that gave birth to him and raised him. You are just too hypocritical and worry too much. Seeing this, Lin Qing shook his head speechlessly. Those who want to achieve great things should not be too particular about small matters. If you don't make a decision when you should, you will suffer the consequences. Haven't you heard that in troubled times, severe punishments should be used, and serious illnesses require strong medicines? There is not much time left for South Korea. If you cannot cut the Gordian knot and clean up the situation in South Korea in a short period of time, then you can't change anything. If that's the case, you might as well do nothing, jump out of this Korean quagmire, and look at the entire Kyushu land. Use Kyushu as your chessboard to realize your ideals and ambitions. The general trend of the world is that long periods of division will eventually bring together. And long periods of togetherness will eventually bring division. The chaotic times have lasted too long. The people of the world are tired of war and look forward to the unification of the 9 provinces. Quote, if you continue to cling to a small country, you, Han Fei, will eventually be drowned by the great tide of history. He still admired Han Fei very much and didn't want him to die young. He hoped to see what kind of charisma Han Fei would display when he realized his ambitions. After hearing this, Han Fei felt even more conflicted. At the same time, he was also certain that regardless of Lin Qing's strength, his cognitive insight alone was definitely not simple. I think he's right, you just worry too much. If you keep going like this, you won't be able to change anything. At this time, Wei Zhuang, who had been standing aside with a sword in his hand as a background, couldn't help but look at Han Fei coldly with a look of disappointment. If Han Fei had not been unwilling, he would have used the sword in his hand to help him kill all the enemies and clean up the internal problems of Korea. Brother Wei Zhuang, don't force me. Han Fei felt a worse headache after hearing this. He pinched his brows with his hands and said, with a worried look on his face, the current situation in South Korea really cannot withstand a major civil unrest. Besides, solving the problem too roughly will cause endless harm. I can't do that. Tisk. After hearing this, Lin Qing and Wei Zhuang smacked their lips in tacit understanding, looking speechless. Then, both of them were slightly stunned and looked at each other. Lin Qing smiled at Wei Zhuang. Wei Zhuang turned his head away proudly. Lin Qing thought to himself, Xiao Zhuang, Sunere is no longer popular now, it has withdrawn from the mainstream market. Brother Lin, since you see things so clearly, you are obviously a very talented person. Why don't you lend me a hand? Wouldn't it be great if we could work together to change Korea and accomplish something great? At this time, Han Fei seemed to have figured something out. He changed the subject and began to persuade Lin Qing. If he could really get Lin Qing's help, he believed that he would be able to turn the situation around quickly. Just forget it. Lin Qing listened and waved his hands repeatedly. I respectfully decline to be involved in official affairs. Besides, you don't have enough courage. You can't even handle a small country like South Korea. There's no future for me to be with you. Even if I want to change the world, wouldn't it be better for me to go to Qin and assist King Qin? Ying Zheng, in my opinion, the person who will unify the world in the future must be Qin King Ying Zheng. Since you can't bring yourself to do it, why don't you give up early and turn to the state of Qin? Assist the King of Qin in accomplishing great things, and realize your own ideals and ambitions. At the same time, as far as I know, the King of Qin has admired you for a long time. Your 5 vermin are so highly respected. Why don't you obey him? Lin Qing had great respect for the first emperor. You are not from Qin, are you? After hearing this, Wei Zhuang asked with some caution. After hearing this, Lin Qing rolled his eyes and said, I am a descendant of Yan and Huang. There is no difference between Qin people, Han people, and Wei people in my opinion. After hearing this, Wei Zhuang let go of the slight bit of vigilance that had just risen up in his mind. Obviously, he believed what Lin Qing said. Mainly because of the contact over the past few days, he felt that he had a better understanding of Lin Qing. This is a person who likes to be straightforward and say what he thinks. It's actually quite similar to him. Brother Wei Zhuang, there is no need to be alert. Brother Lin is definitely not from Qin. At this time, Han Fei smiled and took a sip of wine, then looked at Lin Qing with an inexplicable expression and said, I really don't see any characteristics of people from the 7 kingdoms or even outside the 7 kingdoms in Brother Lin. In your eyes, the people of the 7 kingdoms seem to be no different. In your eyes, they seem to be one and the same. You give me the feeling that you don't belong to this world. Oh, when Lin Qing heard this, his heart skipped a beat. This kid actually saw something. Should we say that he is worthy of being called Han Fei? However, Lin Qing remained calm and joked, maybe your guess is right, I might actually be an alien. Han Fei, Wei Zhuang, is such a thing possible? Han Fei shook his head. Whether there is a world outside this world, many people have speculated throughout history, but no one has gotten a definite answer. It would be great if Brother Lin really is a visitor from outer space. Forget it, let's not talk about this anymore. Come, drink, dry, ... After staying in Zilinshuan for half a day, Lin Qing returned to his own courtyard. Did you go to Zilanzan to drink with Wei Zhuang, Han Fei and the others again? Seeing this, Fei Yan came out and helped Lin Qing take off his coat while saying, it seems that you really admire Han Fei and Wei Zhuang. A little bit. Lin Qing nodded without comment. Are you prepared to change their fate? Fei Yan asked again. ... P.S. New book uploaded, please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 19. Never Ending, NZT. Lin Qing listened and shook his head, not sure yet, let's wait and see. By the way, I am going to leave your world tomorrow and use my magical power of traveling through time to go to a new world to see if I can get something satisfactory. I am here to say hello to you. After resting for so many days, the benefits of the previous world have basically been digested. His martial arts skills have also been improved to the 7th level of innateness in the past few days. There is only one day left for Seiko to experience the doomsday. Although he is confident that he can solve the problem there. But I am still prepared to open a new world to see if I can gain new insights and add an extra layer of security. Oh, after hearing this, Fei Yan's eyes lit up slightly and she wanted to go along. But after thinking about it, I rejected the idea. This crossing is random. Lin Qing will definitely not be in danger thanks to his incredible luck. But with her included, that might not be the case. She didn't want to add unnecessary variables and troubles to Lin Qing. Let's talk about it later. Thinking of this, Fei Yan immediately said to Lin Qing, I know. Remember to be careful. Even if you have incredible luck, you can't be careless. Those who forget to fight will perish. It is always better to be careful. Lin Qing smiled knowingly, thank you for your concern. As he spoke, Lin Qing reached out and touched Fei Yan's cheek. This made Fei Yan's pretty face turn slightly red. A charming atmosphere began to emanate between the two of them. Obviously, the relationship between the two has made considerable progress after spending these days together. Ahem. However, at this moment, Yan Lingji flew in from outside. As soon as she came in and saw this scene, she couldn't help but clear her throat, completely destroying the atmosphere. Facing the angry glares from Lin Qing and Fei Yan, Yan Lingji stared back with a calm attitude. What's wrong? This is cheeky. Forget it, I'm going to practice. Me too. Immediately, Lin Qing and Fei Yan returned to their rooms. The next morning, Lin Qing said goodbye to Fei Yan and asked her to help look after Yan Lingji. Then he flew up and disappeared in midair. After leaving Xinjiang and appearing in a dense forest, Lin Qing suddenly had an idea and used his magical power of time travel. The next moment, he was completely enveloped in light, and disappeared in a flash. And here in the yard, after Lin Qingyuan left, Fei Yan turned around and looked at Yan Lingji with a dim gaze. Yan Lingji was so frightened by the sight of him that she had a bad feeling. He hugged his body with his hands, took small steps away from Fei Yan, and bluffed nervously. What do you want to do? Don't forget, Lin Qing asked you to take care of me. Hee. After hearing this, Fei Yan smiled, clenched her fists and said, yes. Brother Lin Qing did ask me to take care of you, but how I take care of you is my business. Come here. The next moment, a golden dragon emerged from Fei Yan's body and rushed towards Yan Lingji. Don't come over here, I'll let you be naughty. I'll let you ruin my good deeds. Lin Qing, after a while of spinning, when his vision returned, he found himself in a living room. The entire living room was in a mess, as if it had been ransacked by bandits. The most important thing is that a white young man was lying on the sofa in the living room, his head tilted back, and there was a glaring bloody bullet hole between his eyebrows. The white man's face also looked deathly, and it was obvious that he had been dead for some time. This scene is somewhat familiar. Immediately, Lin Qing used his telekinesis to cover the entire suite and quickly collected useful information. A scene from a movie suddenly popped up in my mind, which was extremely similar to the scene here. Lin Qing thought about it, then walked towards the kitchen of the suite. He used his telekinesis to open the oven in the kitchen and took out a pack of pills from the top compartment. Really, he suddenly understood. It is indeed a world without end. Great. This should be the NZT-48, right? What a good thing. NZT-48 is a super powerful medicine born in the endless world that can develop the brain and comprehensively improve learning ability, thinking ability, understanding and digestion ability, and comprehension. It's just not perfect yet and has significant side effects. At this time, Lin Qing's telepathic perception detected a young man running into the building at the main entrance below, getting into the elevator, and directly choosing the floor where he was. The protagonist Eddie, you came just in time. By the way, let's take some of his blood for future research on the perfect medicine. After all, Lin Qing couldn't be sure whether the perfect NZT drug that Eddie later developed in the original timeline had anything to do with his own physique and genes. It's always a good idea to be well prepared. Immediately, Lin Qing came to the door of the suite, hid behind the wall and waited quietly. Bite. After a while, the elevator door opened and Eddie walked quickly to the door. Ong. Before he could even enter the door, he was knocked unconscious by an invisible mental force and was about to fall down. But Lin Qing used his telekinesis to drag him slowly onto the ground. Then, Lin Qing took out a cup from the group storage space as a container. Then, he made a cut on a vein on Eddie's hand through the air, making a tiny cut. Blood immediately began to ooze out. Lin Qing used his telekinesis to directly control it and it flew into the cup in his hand. In fact, because he was dissatisfied with the slow blood flow, Lin Qing simply condensed his telekinesis into an invisible catheter and inserted it into a vein in Eddie's arm, using telekinesis to control the acceleration of the blood extraction. In just 2 minutes, after seeing that there was already half a cup, about 100 milliliters of blood, in the cup, Lin Qing stopped drawing blood. With a thought, he put the cup in his hand into the group storage space. He wrapped himself with telekinesis and flew down the stairwell quickly instead of taking the elevator, leaving the building in a short while. Blat. As soon as he left the building, Lin Qing looked back at the building, snapped his fingers, and directly stimulated Eddie's nerves with telekinesis. Only after seeing that Eddie had woken up did Lin Qing leave with satisfaction. This protagonist might still be useful if he is kept here, so it's better not to let him lie there any longer. God knows whether the people who assassinated his brother-in-law before will come back. After leaving the building, Lin Qing went straight to a hotel, booked a room and moved in. Then, he took out his laptop from the group storage space and connected to the network of this world with some operations. Then, take out the packet of pills. There shouldn't be any problem. He wanted to swallow the pill, but his sixth sense did not warn him of the danger. This means that the pill will not kill him. This was an alternative use of his heaven-defying luck that he had concluded in the past. Gurgle. Immediately, he took out an NZT-48 and swallowed it. After a few seconds, the pills began to take effect. Lin Qing only felt a shock, as if his entire brain began to be rapidly activated. The entire person's thinking ability, memory ability, comprehension ability, learning ability, understanding, etc. have all been rapidly raised to an extremely high level. It has been enhanced by more than 1,000 times. At this moment, as long as he recalled it slightly, all the memories of his past and present lives would come back to him in detail. Even all the details of the movie Neverending that he had watched in his previous life were clearly recalled, as if he would never forget them. This feels great. Although it's very different from sudden enlightenment, this feeling of having a brain is wonderful. P.S. New book uploaded. Please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 20. Permanent Brain Development Magic Drug NZT. Because of the side effects of the drug, Lin Qing did not dare to waste time and immediately began to learn English frantically on the internet. Although he had learned English in the past, it was limited to the level of basic communication. In reading, he certainly doesn't know many professional English words. In order to facilitate the study and research of in-depth biological knowledge in the future, it is very necessary to learn English well first. Learning ability and comprehension are improved too much, and the brain's thinking speed, reaction speed and information processing speed are improved too much. In just over 10 minutes, Lin Qing had learned all the English words, grammar, etc. to a very high level. Then, he began to learn and digest various biological and medical knowledge on the internet. In order not to miss the time point in Seiko's other world, Lin Qing specially adjusted the time flow rate ratio between this world and other worlds. The time ratio was extended to 1:100. At the same time, I am not planning to log into the group chat for the time being. Because he had discovered long ago that as long as they logged into the group chat, the speed of time flow in the world among the online group members would become consistent. Only when he logs off and does not log in, can the time flow adjustment take effect. The biological knowledge on the internet is also limited. Even though Lin Qing improved his programming and hacking skills during this period, they invaded many of the top laboratories and research institutes in the United States and stole a large amount of knowledge for study. There is also an end. Finally, he even began to go to major libraries to read books on biology and medicine for study. It's been half a month, and even if I stop taking the medication, I don't have any obvious side effects. It seems that my martial arts, telekinesis, and mental strength have greatly improved my resistance to the side effects of NZT-48. That's a good thing. However, subsequent research on the perfect miracle drug cannot be conducted entirely according to my standards. Otherwise, if ordinary people take it, there might be serious problems. It took 5 days for Lin Qing, who had become a top biological and medical scientist due to the effects of NZT-48 and occasional sudden enlightenment, to assess his own situation and think to himself. The reason why it takes another 3 days to open a double cheat is because flipping through books and looking up information takes too much time. Then he began to work on improving and upgrading the NZT-48. This obviously requires the support of top biological laboratory conditions. In response to this, Lin Qing's method was simple and crude. He directly used his hacking skills to transfer a large sum of money from the bad debts of major banks. Next, he searched for a top-notch biological laboratory on the internet and rented it for 10 days. Then, the entire laboratory was cleared out of all scientific researchers, security personnel, etc. He entered the laboratory alone and began research based on NZT-48. With his increased thinking ability and understanding, he completely analyzed the composition of NZT-48 in less than half an hour. Afterwards, he used the protagonist Eddie's blood to conduct improvement and upgrade experiments with NZT-48, because, through his studies, he has become a top biologist. Know the general direction of improvement and upgrade. Just not sure about the most appropriate drug ratio. This requires constant trial and error and a little bit of luck. What he lacks the least is luck. Open black lens bracket. You used Eddie's blood and NZT-48 to conduct analytical research. With great luck, you successfully experimented with the best improvement and upgrade ratio in one go. You developed the super powerful magic medicine NZT-50, which can permanently develop the brain and comprehensively improve learning ability, thinking ability, understanding and digestion ability, and comprehension. Close black lens bracket. Very good. Lin Qing looked at his latest success with a face full of joy, but without any surprise or astonishment. Isn't it natural to succeed in one try? He's used to it. Whenever his research involved probability, he never needed a second trial and error. Immediately, Lin Qing began to prepare a large amount of NZT-50 with the help of the instruments and raw materials here. But in just one day, 100,000 pieces were produced. Then he stopped. To be on the safe side, he secretly captured a homeless person and tested the effects of the new drug. It turned out that there was really nothing wrong with the drug. Lin Qing was finally relieved. Then, he waved his hand and used his telekinesis to break the neck of the experimental subject, who had taken the drug to become smarter and wanted to escape. Then, he tried to put this miracle drug on the group mall. Attempt to use the identification function of the group mall for further confirmation. It turned out that only 100 pieces could be put on the shelves at a time. Open black lens bracket. Ding. You have put NZT-50 100 on the shelves and received 10 million points. Close black lens bracket. Chat group, what's going on? Lin Qing immediately asked in the group chat. Open black lens bracket. Ding. Group leader, for items like goods, the number that can be put on the shelf at one time is limited according to different needs, which is also to avoid a backlog of goods. Close black lens bracket. I see. Lin Qing immediately understood. That's right. However, NZT-50 is a magical medicine that can greatly improve one's understanding. Is it only worth 100,000 points per pill? Isn't it a little too low? Open black lens bracket. Ding. Not really. This drug is best for ordinary people who are not extraordinary. Orthodox practitioners are constantly expanding their brains and tapping into their potential. It is not a precious medicine that can truly improve the understanding of the essence of the soul. This drug has lost its effect on orthodox practitioners at the Yuanshan realm and above. For orthodox practitioners below the Yuanshan realm, the effect will decrease as the cultivation level increases. In addition, this drug only acts on the brain and is ineffective on special life mentalities such as the soul body and spirit body. 100,000 per piece is already very high, and the land-based immortal level skills that you put on the shelf are only 50,000 per step. Close black lens bracket. Is that so? So there is such a restriction. That makes sense. Lin Qing saw the reply in the group chat system and immediately understood. Indeed, this drug simply stimulates the full potential of the brain in advance. For those orthodox practitioners, such as immortal cultivators, the process of improving their cultivation level is constantly stimulating and developing their own potential, which naturally includes the brain. For orthodox practitioners, their comprehension and other aspects will also improve as their cultivation continues to improve. This in itself is part of developing potential. The comprehension of a Jindan stage person with average comprehension is far superior to that of a genius in the Qi training stage. Of course, this does not mean that the value of insightful genius has depreciated. Being born with high comprehension ability means that one's potential in this area is also high. Later, as their cultivation level improves, the potential for comprehension that is developed will naturally be much higher than that of people of the same level with mediocre comprehension. Well, fortunately, my comprehension is not bad, and every time I have an epiphany, my comprehension can be permanently improved to a certain extent, so I don't have to worry about the effect of this drug not working in the future, causing my comprehension to not keep up. Thinking of this, Lin Qing directly took a NZT-50. The next moment, he felt streams of clear water flowing through his brain. Then, he felt that the burden of NZT-48 on his brain had completely disappeared. At this point, even if he had lost his cultivation, telekinesis and super mental strength, he felt that the brain expansion and enhanced comprehension brought about by the drug would not place an excessive burden on his brain and body. Great. Now, without relying on sudden enlightenment, I am also a genius at the level of a demon in terms of comprehension. Hee. Lin Qing smiled happily. After doing all this, he looked at the many cutting-edge instruments in the laboratory and was very excited. These cutting-edge biological research instruments are not available even to my company in the main world. They are basically banned from sale. Can't miss it. Immediately, Lin Qing began to use his telekinesis to dismantle all the valuable scientific research equipment in the entire laboratory, temporarily stored in the group storage space. But in just half a day, he had completely cleared out the entire laboratory. P.S. New book uploaded, please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 21 Group Chat Upgrade, 3 new features, 5/6, please bookmark. Comment. Looking at the empty and messy laboratory, Lin Qing patted the non-existent dust on his hands and nodded with satisfaction. Oh, did they find and track us down here? Pretty fast. It seems that the money-making matter has been exposed. That's right, there was suddenly such a large amount of money in one account. I didn't hide it too much when I rented this laboratory, so it's not surprising that it was found. But you're already late. Having said that, Lin Qing directly displayed his innate ability of time travel. The next moment, the whole person was wrapped in light and disappeared directly in the empty laboratory. When the agents broke in, they found that the place was deserted. Later, the head of the laboratory discovered that the laboratory had been emptied and was so angry that he fainted. In group chat, open black lens bracket ding. Group leader Lin Qing has put the brain development magic drug NZT-50*100 on the shelves. Welcome everyone to buy it. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Huang Rong close black lens bracket. Huh. The group leader who disappeared for a day suddenly appeared. Also, what is this brain developing magic medicine? Not only her, but everyone else in the group was also very curious and opened the group mall to check it out. Hiss. After reading the introduction to the efficacy of NZT-50, everyone couldn't help but gasp. Open black lens bracket U Bukchun close black lens bracket. Damn. It's really a magical medicine. It can actually greatly improve thinking, ability and comprehension. If I take a pill of this, won't I, Yu Bukchun, also be able to become a super genius with incredible comprehension? He was deeply moved. But after seeing the price of this miracle drug, he shook his head bitterly and sighed, it's too damn expensive. Open black lens bracket Huang Rong close black lens bracket. This effect is worthy of the name of a miracle drug. It's just too expensive, although it's worth it. Open black lens bracket Kanae Kocho close black lens bracket. I can't afford it. Open black lens bracket Lay movie close black lens bracket. It is indeed a miracle drug that can fully develop the potential of the brain. Although there are some limitations, it is worth the money. However, it is probably useless to me. She is a god after all. Even if they are gods with relatively weak strength, their strength is still beyond that of Cultivators in the Yuanshan realm. The key point is that she has long passed the stage of full brain development. Open black lens bracket Zhang Sanfeng close black lens bracket. Although I think I have good comprehension, I can't help but be tempted by this kind of magic medicine. I just can't afford it for the time being. In fact, he wanted to buy one for each of his disciples. In this way, his disciples with relatively mediocre qualifications can all become geniuses of understanding. In the future, it will be much easier to reach the Yuanshan realm. The immortal spirit should be several levels higher than the martial arts immortals on Earth. This is already very strong. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket. At Lin Qing, brother Lin Qing, is this what you gained from exploring the new world this time? What kind of world is that? How could it produce such a miraculous medicine? Also, when will you come back to me? Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. I'm back. Weren't you at home? Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket. So soon? I'm definitely not at home. I'm at the resettlement area for the Bayou survivors in the south of the city. Come over quickly. Tian's has been released, and Yan Lingji seems to have rebelled. After sending this message, Fei Yan looked at Yan Lingji who was hanging out with Tian's in the distance below with an amused look on her face. Yan Lingji suddenly felt a chill down her spine, thinking, what's going on? Why do I have a bad feeling? Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. Oh. Has he been released? That's good, it saves me a lot of trouble. Wait a moment, I'll be right over. As he spoke, Lin Qing, who had just returned to his home in Xinjiang, flashed into the yard. Then, he sensed and locked onto the aura of Fei Yan and Yan Lingji, soared into the sky, and rushed over there at a very fast speed. At the same time, he did not forget to continue speaking in the group. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. In addition, this magical medicine is not entirely a specialty of the New World. It was developed and improved by me. That world isn't anything special other than this. It's just an ordinary low-tech world like Seiko's world. Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket. Is that so? As expected of you, you're amazing. Open black lens bracket Bushima Seiko close black lens bracket. Miracles can happen in the ordinary world. Open black lens bracket Huang Rong close black lens bracket. Developed. Then, brother group leader, can you produce this kind of magic medicine endlessly? Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. That's about right. Those who are difficult won't be able to do it, and those who are able to do it won't be difficult at all. Open black lens bracket Huang Rong close black lens bracket. I'm so jealous. This represents an infinite amount of points. I wish I could someday be able to earn points this way. Open black lens bracket Kanae butterfly close black lens bracket. Ditto. Open black lens bracket Yu Bukchun close black lens bracket. +1. Open black lens bracket Zhang Sanfeng close black lens bracket. +1. Open black lens bracket Lei movie close black lens bracket. It's actually nothing. These points are only useful for time travel, but not much else. Of course, those skills are really good, and even if she practices them, she can get good results. If she could cultivate to the immortal realm on land, it would probably be a significant improvement for her. Open black lens bracket ding. The chat group activity level has reached the target, and the group chat is starting to upgrade. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ding. Upgrade completed. Group chat enters 2.0 era. New features added. Cultivation space. Enlightenment function. Group task function. Please check the details by yourself. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Lei movie close black lens bracket. At this moment, Lei Dianying, who was in Yixin Pure Land, couldn't help but twitch his eyes slightly. Is this group chat deliberately trying to slap me in the face? She quickly checked the 3 new features of the group chat. Open black lens bracket Lei movie close black lens bracket. Ahem. I take back what I said before, group points are still very useful. Open black lens bracket Huang Rong close black lens bracket. Haha. Sister Ying's attitude changes so quickly. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. What is a slap in the face at the speed of light? This is it. Open black lens bracket Lei movie close black lens bracket. Hey, that's too much. Who could have thought that the group chat would Suddenly escalate. Could it be that you, the group owner, did this on purpose? Lin Qing cried out that he was wronged. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. What does this have to do with me? These are all autonomous actions of the group chat. Everything is just a coincidence. Open black lens bracket lay movie close black lens bracket. Do you think I believe it? Group owners have privileges. Who knows what the privileges are? Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. Believe it or not. Speaking of which, these mission functions in cultivation functions came at a very timely moment. The former makes it easier for everyone to trigger and accept tasks and get points as rewards, while the latter completely relieves the worries of those of us who have a poor cultivation environment in the main world. Now, no matter what world you are in, you don't have to worry about your cultivation being affected by the environment. This cultivation space has two modes. One is to directly enter the temporary practice space opened up by the chat group. One is that the chat group uses great power to project the cultivation environment and spiritual energy onto the group members or a certain range around them, making it convenient for the group members and even the people around them to practice. Both modes have their advantages and disadvantages, and both are quite useful. The price is not expensive. The price per hour varies depending on the required environment and spiritual energy concentration. At the very least, group members can support 1 or 2 hours of practice with their daily sign-in points. As for the highest standards, that is also extremely high and not everyone can afford it. There's no need. Open black lens bracket U Bukchun close black lens bracket. Of course. I was thinking about whether I should go to Master Zhang or Miss Feiyan's world to practice for a while. It's really because the concentration of heaven and earth energy in my world is too low. Even if the group chat removes the shackles of cultivation that the world has bound on me, it will be difficult for me to break through the Shantian realm if the concentration of heaven and earth vitality is not high enough. Now that we have this training space, the problem is solved. It takes 100 points to travel through time once. Given the cultivation environment conditions he currently requires, 100 points would be enough for him to cultivate for a long period of time. Not worth it. Open black lens bracket Zhang Sanfeng close black lens bracket. Haha. The Taoist is the same. Open black lens bracket Huang Rong close black lens bracket. Me too. P.S. New book uploaded. Please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 22. A shockingly funny movie. Yan Lingji's Dilemma, 6/6. Please bookmark. Comment. When Lin Qing saw Huang Rong also speak, he couldn't help but laugh. I started to think about teasing her. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. Miss Wronger, with your current level of cultivation, is the cultivation environment in your world sufficient? Huang Rong, what nonsense are you talking about? Open black lens bracket Huang Rong close black lens bracket. No. No way, it's definitely not comparable to the cultivation space provided by the group chat. The normal practice is too slow. I want to speed up the practice, right? Also, don't talk about me. Brother group leader, you only mentioned 2 new group chat functions before, and didn't mention the most important enlightenment function. Don't you think highly of this function? Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket. Haha. He really might not be interested in this function. Because, as long as he wants, he can enter the state of enlightenment at any time. Plus, now that we have invented a magical drug that can develop the brain and improve comprehension, it is even more unnecessary. This function is obviously provided for mediocre people like us. Feiyan's words were so destructive that they directly hit almost all the group members. Sudden enlightenment anytime, anywhere. Do you have to be so perverted? Enlightenment is something that many people can never achieve in their lifetime. Even someone as gifted as Zhang Sanfeng had sudden enlightenment only twice in his life. Open black lens bracket Huang Rong close black lens bracket. Is this true? Is the group leader so perverted? Open black lens bracket Fei Yan close black lens bracket. Of course. He came to my place just 1 day ago, and I saw him have 2 sudden realizations, the kind that he did whatever he wanted. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. That's about right. You know, I was just a little bit luckier. Open black lens bracket Huang Rong close black lens bracket. Isn't this cheating? It's not fair. Open black lens bracket Huang Rong close black lens bracket. I'm shocked. I won't say any more. I'm going to practice. Open black lens bracket Zhang Sanfeng close black lens bracket, ditto. Open black lens bracket Lay movie close black lens bracket, excuse me, goodbye. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket, at Ray movie, wait a minute. I'm planning to visit your world soon to see if I can get a god's eye. I'm saying hello in advance. At Ganyu, the same goes for you. Open black lens bracket Lay movie close black lens bracket, oh. You want to come over to my place? Welcome, welcome. I'm also curious about whether your luck against all odds is really that amazing. Open black lens bracket Ganyu close black lens bracket, Are you coming over, group leader? No problem, I'll notify Ningguang and Master Zhongli to entertain them. That's right, yesterday she had taken the time to gather Ningguang, Zhongli and others, and talked frankly about the group chat and the Lay movie. Zhongli and the others already have enough knowledge about group chats. They all felt that this was an opportunity that could not be missed and she must seize it. At the same time, Ningguang and the others were also gathering supplies, preparing to help Ganyu obtain enough points to exchange for things like skills, martial arts, telekinesis cultivation methods, and telekinesis seeds. Now, we have to add the cost of the new group chat function and the brain development drug. NZT50. The former can not only help Ganyu speed up her own cultivation, but also benefit the people around her. The latter is even more outrageous. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. You don't have to be so serious, just be casual. As you know, I have the ability to travel through time. After I've been there, I can come and go freely from now on. I'm quite interested in the world of Genshin Impact. I may go there often in the future. Just treat me as an ordinary descender. Open black lens bracket Ganyu close black lens bracket. Yeah, I understand. However, it's better to be serious for the first time. The old man and the others are actually looking forward to meeting you, the group leader. I hope you don't mind. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. Is that so? That's fine. Seeing that Lin Qing agreed, Ganyu smiled happily. Open black lens bracket Lay movie close black lens bracket. Hey, hey, hey. Little Qilin, are you trying to snatch this from me? Do you believe me? I'll kill you right now. It's just Liu. With her speed, it will only take a moment. Ganyu was directly frightened by Lei Dianying's words. Open black lens bracket Ganyu close black lens bracket. Your Majesty the Thunder God, I don't have, oh. Lin Qing couldn't stand it anymore. Open black lens bracket Lin Qing close black lens bracket. Hey, hey, hey. Ying, that's enough, stop scaring people. To be honest, I really don't want to go to Inazuma right now. It's too smoky and chaotic. You should have seen the past and future of your own world, right? When Lei Dianying saw this, his expression suddenly turned grim. Inazuma's corruption has actually affected the group leader's perception of Inazuma and even her. It's simply unforgivable. The Thunder God was angry, and suddenly, the entire sky of Inazuma became covered with dark clouds, as if the sky was angry. Thunder 4 is angry. When Inazuma's people saw this, they trembled with fear. Ah la la. A pink-haired fox saw this scene and couldn't help but murmured to himself in a joking tone, is a certain otaku goddess angry? Who made her unhappy? How about going to see her? At this time, the angry voice of Lei Dianying sounded in the mind of the pink-haired fox Ye. Shenzi, son of Shenzi, come to Yixin Pure Land, I have something to discuss with you. Oh, Ye Shinko was stunned when he heard the voice, and immediately replied, it seems that something really happened that I don't know about. Ying, are you not going to keep to yourself? When Lei Dianying heard Ye Shenzi's ridicule, he immediately got mad and roared in anger. Shut up, get over here. Yes, I'm coming right over. Ye Kamiko's eyes suddenly curved with smile, and she immediately stood up and flew towards the Narukami Taisha shrine. This guy just loves to laugh at me. He knew Inazuma had such a big problem but he didn't tell me. I lost face in front of the group leader. Shenzi, you are done. Humph. Lei Dianying said harsh words in his heart out of shame and anger. At the same time, in the group chat, open black lens bracket Lei movie close black lens bracket, I know. I just didn't pay attention to it before. Since you, the group leader, can't stand it, then I'll take action to rectify it. I won't argue with the little Qilin this time, in order to avoid dirtying your eyes. I'll invite you over as my guest after I've cleansed Inazuma's filth. She didn't care so much at first, but now that Lin Qing disliked her because of this, she naturally couldn't stand it. A great shame and humiliation. Those damn bastards should all die. They have dared to deceive me all along. How great! Endless anger surged in Lei Dianying's heart. Of course, her plan to clean up Inazuma was not entirely for Lin Qing. In fact, he also considered that there might be a chance to resurrect his sister in the future. If my sister saw me treating Inazuma like this, she would definitely be disappointed, right? Lei Dianying didn't want to see his sister disappointed. So, Inazuma had to make changes. Lin Qing quickly flew to the resettlement area for the Bayou survivors in the south of Xinjiang City. It's very lively here at this time. Yan Lingji, didn't you hear my order? Why don't you kill these untouchables for me? When Tian saw Yan Lingji and Wushuang who had not taken any action after he gave the order, a cold light suddenly appeared in his eyes, and he looked at Yan Lingji and scolded her. P.S. New book uploaded, please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 23. The filter is broken, Yan Lingji's choice 1/6, please collect. Flowers, comment, can. After hearing this, Yan Lingji looked at Tian's, and then looked at the numerous Bayou survivors over there. I couldn't help but think of the past few days, when I had been getting along with these Bayou survivors every day, and I felt a surge of pity and confusion in my heart. She doesn't understand. These Bayou survivors have been living a hard life. As the crown prince of Bayou, Tian's does not want to help these fellow Bayou survivors, but instead wants to kill these poor people. Is he crazy? Is it really right for me to be so focused on rescuing him? Is such a person really qualified to be his own master and the future king of Bayou? She even couldn't help but think of Lin Qing. Comparing the two, she felt that Tian's was far inferior to Lin Qing. No, it should be said that comparing Lin Qing with Tian's is an insult to Lin Qing. Hey, did you hear me, or do you want to betray me and seek death? Seeing that Yan Lingji not only did not wake up and obey, but instead fell into memories, Tian's could no longer stop the anger in his heart. The next moment, several chains appeared from his body and shot towards Yan Lingji. Seeing this, Wushuang prepared to stand in front of Yan Lingji. Just then, an invisible force swept past. No matter whether it was Tian's, Wushuang or even the 100 Poison King and the corpse-driving demon who were really preparing to poison the remnants of the Bayou people. Their attacks were all frozen in midair, unable to move or exert any strength. Yan Lingji was stunned when she saw this scene, which lasted for several breaths, then turned her head to look for it. The next moment, she saw Lin Qing flying towards her in the northern sky with his arm around Fei Yin's waist. Soon, Lin Qing and Fei Yin landed beside Yan Lingji. Seeing her stunned look, Lin Qing smiled and stretched out his hand to hook her teeth, jokingly saying, "What, don't you recognize me? I heard from Fei Yin that you were planning to betray me and leave without saying goodbye. Is that true? Also, this ugly ghost seems to want to attack you and kill you. You are the maid I reserved. He is provoking me. How about I help you kill him?" Tian's, who was immobilized and unable to move, was already terrified. When he heard Lin Qing's words, he could no longer sit still and tried to struggle frantically. But facing Lin Qing's terrifying telekinesis, he, who was only half a step away from being a master, was completely helpless. They can only fall into deeper despair and panic. Could it be that I have just been released and have a chance to be free, but I am going to be killed here? Tian's roared inwardly with resentment. Don't. Fortunately, Yan Lingji spoke up to stop it at this time. He is my master. You can't touch him. Yan Lingji looked at Lin Qingdao with a somewhat hesitant gaze. The tone was filled with uncertainty. Oh. After hearing this, Lin Qing took back the hand that was hooked on Yan Lingji's chin, restrained his playful look, looked at Yan Lingji with a calm gaze and expression and said, "Do you want to kill you at every turn? Do you want to slaughter the masters of the Bayou survivors like you? Without asking the reason? Then your vision is really poor." Yan Lingji felt the change in Lin Qing's expression, and for some reason, she felt a little nervous. She felt that she was getting further and further away from Lin Qing at this moment. After hearing Lin Qing's words, she felt even more upset. Even she herself did not realize that after only a few days of contact with Lin Qing, her inner thoughts had already begun to shift. The filter for Tian's and the so-called loyalty and obsession have long been shaky. When Tian's forced her to slaughter these miserable Bayou survivors today, she became extremely disappointed with Tian's, and her filter was shattered. But Tian's had done her a favor in the past, and she had followed Tian's in her heart for many years, so she couldn't just betray him. That's not her character. But she also didn't want to continue following the crazy Tian's. We can't go on like this. This is not the result I want. Continuing to follow Tian's is not the future I want. Lin Qing is. She was sure that if she completely disappointed Lin Qing today and distanced herself from Lin Qing, she would definitely regret it for the rest of her life. Lin Qing's appearance, strength, talent and the mystery that emanated from him all deeply attracted her. Yan Lingji, who had made up her mind, moved her lips, and finally looked at Lin Qing with a firm gaze and said, I will only become yours if you help me rescue Prince Tian's. Since you haven't done it yet, Master Tian's is already free. Naturally, I am not yours yet. However, I have seen through some things today and I am no longer interested in following Tian's. But I owe Tian's a favor. If you can help Tian's get rid of the poison in his body, I will be yours. It can be regarded as repaying Tian's favor. How do you think? Suddenly, Yan Lingji glanced at the Wushuang ghost standing beside her, thought for a moment, and added, add another Wushuang ghost. Although Wushuang Gui has a poor brain and low intelligence, he has always been loyal to her. Since he was able to save her life at such a critical moment, Yan Lingji didn't want to abandon him and let him continue to follow Tian's, this scumbag. It would be better to let Wushuang Gui follow Lin Qing as a bodyguard and do odd jobs. Although, with Lin Qing's strength, he doesn't need guards. But we can't just give in to everything, right? Lin Qing should do it himself, right? It's so uncool. Oh, Lin Qing and Fei Yan both raised their eyebrows slightly after hearing this. Obviously, both of them were a little surprised by Yan Lingji's reaction. Tisk, she really did seize the right opportunity. What a pity. Fei Yan thought with some regret in her heart. Just now, Lin Qing was obviously a little disappointed with Yan Lingji and his interest in her decreased greatly. Unexpectedly, Yan Lingji made a sudden about-face and was truly prepared to completely lean towards Lin Qing. Tian's was extremely angry when he heard the first half. Angry at Yan Lingji's betrayal. But after hearing the second half, he no longer cared about being angry. If he could use a mere woman, Yan Lingji, and the Wushuang ghost in exchange for Lin Qing's help in removing the poisonous insect from his body, he would naturally be willing to do so. He has always been a selfish and self-centered person. Nothing is more important than himself. He had seen the scene where Lin Qing appeared before. He actually brought people with him and flew here at an extremely fast speed. Coupled with Lin Qing's strange methods of freezing him in midair and using the 100 Ghost King and others, all of these indicate that Lin Qing is extremely mysterious and powerful. Maybe it can really solve the problem of the poisonous insects in his body easily. Thinking of this, Tian's became excited. I hope Lin Qing can agree. Is that so? Facing Yan Lingji's request, Lin Qing immediately looked at Tian's, released his control over his head, and said to him, you also heard what Yan Lingji said. In exchange for the ownership of Yan Lingji and Wushuang Gui, I will help you remove the poisonous insects in your body. Oh, that's right. At this point, Lin Qing paused, glanced at the Bayou survivors over there and added, also, you need to promise not to attack these innocent Bayou survivors again. Do you agree? No problem, I promise. Tian's found that he could move his head, and nodded in agreement without hesitation. He didn't even look at Yan Lingji and the others. Haha, remember your words, otherwise, with my strength, killing you is no different from crushing an ant. As he spoke, Lin Qing stretched out his hand towards Tian's. P.S. New book uploaded, please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 24. The 3 Tian's people who saw a ghost. Lin Qing is abnormal, 2/6, please collect flowers, comment. The next moment, Tian's felt a slight pain in his heart. Then, he suddenly looked inside his heart and discovered that the poisonous insect that had been living in it had turned into powder and was deader than dead. Great, that's great, haha, I'm finally free from this poison. Ha ha ha, I'm free. Tians couldn't help but laugh out loud in surprise. Tisk. When Lin Qing saw this, he looked away with a look of disgust and retracted his control over Tians and the others. The 100 Ghost Kings and others did not continue to take action or say anything, but just silently returned to stand beside Tians. Before, although they couldn't move, they could still hear and see everything around them outside, so they naturally knew what was happening. If you take action now, you will be seeking death. Tians also retracted his chain attack and looked deeply at Yanlingji and Wushuanggui. Then, he turned around and called on hundreds of Ghost Kings and corpse-driving demons to leave quickly, not to mention the unfathomable and miraculous Lin Qing. Even Fei Yan, who was beside Lin Qing, gave him a sense of deadly danger. He had a premonition that if he dared to make any unusual moves, Fei Yan would be able to take his life in minutes without Lin Qing having to take action. Even the woman next to him is at least in the late Grandmaster stage, and the possibility of being a Grandmaster cannot be ruled out. When did such a young and mysterious strong man appear in the world? On the way out, Tians thought with some doubt. Do you know the identities of those two people? As they walked away, he couldn't help but ask the 100 Ghost King and the corpse-driving demon beside him. Not sure. Both of them shook their heads. We only know that they appeared in Xinjiang recently, and they caused quite a stir when they arrived. Even Ji Wuya and Bai Yifei didn't dare to make any move against them. They ignored them, and even Yanlingji was ignored by them before. It's very mysterious anyway. Having said this, they were actually afraid that Tians might suddenly get angry and cause trouble for Lin Qing again. They really don't want to experience the desperate feeling of having no control over their lives again. Is that so? After hearing this, Tians felt awe in his heart and dared not have any bad thoughts towards Lin Qing anymore. Thump. However, it was too late. The next moment, Tians felt the internal energy in his body suddenly surge, causing him to gasp for breath and fall to the ground uncontrollably. Apparently the backlash from the previous hatred had paid off. Tians, King of 100 Ghosts. What's going on? Corpse Exorcist. Does the master still want this? Prince, are you okay? Although they were speechless, the two of them hurried forward to help Tians up. At the same time, the two men asked with doubt and dissatisfaction, Prince, could it be that Lin Qing deceived us and did something to you? The two of them couldn't help but feel a bit of hostility towards Lin Qing. It shouldn't be, it's just that my inner energy suddenly erupted and I lost my breath. Tians shook his head and explained. Unfortunately, he explained it too late. The next moment, the 100 Ghost Kings and the corpse-driving demon suddenly felt their inner energy surge, and they also lost their breath. A trace of blood flowed from the corners of their mouths, and they collapsed to the ground. As a result, Tians, who was helped up by them but had not yet recovered, fell down again. Tians, what's going on with you guys? Tians scolded angrily. Us. The King of 100 Ghosts and the corpse-driving demon explained their situations with tears in their eyes. After the explanation, the two looked at each other, then at Tians, and the expressions of the three of them became extremely strange. There was a long silence. Hey, the corpse-driving demon couldn't help but whispered, could it be Lin Qing? Puff. The corpse-driving demon spat out blood again. This time it's more serious than before, and I suffered some internal injuries. What's wrong with you? Are you vomiting? Could it be that Lin? Tians and the 100 Ghost Kings were shocked. Stop talking. Before they could finish, the corpse exorcist stopped them in fear, saying, don't mention this name, and don't have any ill will or hostility towards him. It's best not to even think about it. I can see that he didn't do anything to us. With his strength, he doesn't need to do such tricks. Quote, you just need to not harbor any ill will or hostility towards him. Otherwise, you will be in trouble. The previous few times were just for verification. If you don't believe it, we can find a few people to verify it. Although it sounds absurd and weird, it is the best explanation the corpse-driving demon could think of in a short period of time. Of course, he didn't even know why he thought about it this way. It was as if some mysterious force was quietly influencing him to think in this direction. But he still didn't feel that there was anything wrong. Okay, then verify it. Tians and the King of 100 Ghosts were silent for a moment, looked at each other, and Tians finally made the decision. At the same time, they also decided to empty their minds for the time being, not to think about Lin Qing and not to have any malice or hostility towards him. It turned out that nothing happened afterwards. Then they found a few more unlucky people and conducted another experiment. This completely confirmed the corpse-driving demon's previous speculation. They were awed in their hearts and dared not even think about Lin Qing, let alone have any malice or hostility towards him. I now understand why Ji Wuya and Bai Yifei chose not to care about Lin, ahem. That person. I'm afraid they've also encountered some bad luck, figured out the source of the problem, and are scared, right? Tian's guessed. Otherwise, there is no way to explain why the important prison was destroyed. Yan Lingji was taken away, and Ji Wuya and the others were indifferent to Lin Qing. This is a profound lesson I have learned, and I dare not do it again. Very likely. The 100 Ghost Kings and the corpse-driving demon all nodded in agreement. Forget it. If we can't afford to offend, can't we just hide away? At most, we can just pretend that Yan Lingji and Wushuang Gui didn't exist from the beginning. Next, we should take revenge on Bai Yifei and South Korea and let them feel the pain too. He. Tian's grinned. The scene returns to Lin Qing. After Tian's and the others left, Lin Qing smiled and looked at Yan Lingji and said jokingly, "Okay, I have fulfilled your conditions. From now on, you are mine. Is there any objection?" Yan Lingji happily shook her head after hearing this, "Not at all. From now on, please take care of me, master." As she spoke, she regained her usual liveliness and charm, and threw a seductive glance at Lin Qing, who was leaning against her with her arm around her. Fei Yin's eyes twitched when she saw this. If I had known this earlier, I wouldn't have asked brother Lin Qing to come over. Fei Yin thought with regret in her heart. Who could have thought that this girl's IQ suddenly came online? She figured it out, and turned the situation around. It's mainly because Tianzi is such a rubbish. Fei Yin thought of the culprit who caused all this. If that scum hadn't been so inhumane and asked Yan Lingji to slaughter these innocent Baiyu survivors, perhaps Yan Lingji would not have been able to see through his nature and make up her mind to break away from him so easily. It's the time and the fate. Ha ha. Lin Qing could see that Yan Lingji had completely let go of the past, and he couldn't help but laugh out loud and said, "Okay, let's go back." Having said that, he flew up with a few people and returned to his home in Xinjiang City in a moment. P.S. New book uploaded, please collect, give flowers and comment. Chapter 25. A Wushuang Ghost with a Brain. Fei Yin's Desire, 3/6, please bookmark. Master. Wushuangui, do you have any plans? After returning home, Yan Lingji looked at the silly Wushuang Gui and asked Lin Qing. Not yet. Lin Qing listened and shook his head. His strength is too weak, but his talent for physical training is quite good. Wait until I deduce a physical training method suitable for him, and then I will teach him how to practice it. Also, his mind is not complete. I wonder if he can succeed in practicing the spiritual method. Can we make up for some of his mental faculties? Wushuang Gui is undoubtedly the material for becoming a peerless warrior. The only thing that holds him back is his mental disability, which is a pity. As for the method of body refining, the life-breathing method can actually be considered a method of body training. At present, the life-breathing method and the body refining chapter of the 10,000 Tao Ju that he created are both based on the breathing method, and incorporate several body refining methods from the martial arts world. It's just that the levels are not high, and they are not perfect enough. Perhaps, we should ask Zhang Sanfeng to go to the Western region's esoteric Buddhism to see if he can obtain the Dragon Elephant Prajna Sutra. In addition, we can also take some time to go to Wei State and find Dian Qing of the Pygia sect to get the Pygia sect skills and integrate them to derive a physical training method that is more suitable for Wushuang Ghost. At the same time, I can further improve the body refining chapter of my 10,000 Tao Ju. Lin Qing thought to himself. After hearing this, Wushuang Gui just smiled foolishly and touched the back of his head. With his simple mind, he decided that Lin Qing, the new master, was a good person. Master, do you have any spiritual cultivation methods? Yan Lingji's focus was different. She looked at Lin Qing's tentative request eagerly and said, "Can you teach it to me too? Although my fire charm also involves mental power, it is not perfect enough and the effect of tempering and improving mental power is average." Seeing that Lin Qing and Fei Yan were so powerful, she also wanted to become stronger. Otherwise, Sooner or later you will not be able to keep up with Lin Qing's pace and be eliminated, right? Of course you can. Lin Qing listened and nodded without refusing. However, the spiritual cultivation method I currently master mainly cultivates a special kind of spiritual power variant called telekinesis. It does incorporate some of the yin-yang school's spiritual cultivation methods and concepts, and is not a pure spiritual cultivation method. Telekinesis. Yan Lingji was slightly stunned after hearing this, and then she thought of something. Is it the same power that you used to freeze Tions and the others, and overturn the mountain to rescue me? Oh, that's right. And flying also uses this power, right? Lin Qing nodded affirmatively. Not bad. Master, I want to learn. Teach me now. After getting the definite answer, Yan Lingji's eyes lit up and she hugged Lin Qing's arm, begging. Feiyan, who was standing by, wanted to hit someone. Haha, okay, I'll teach you right away. Lin Qing smiled, but before teaching, she still reminded him. However, telekinesis is not strong at the beginning. To be able to fly or even overturn a mountain requires years of practice, so you'd better not expect too much. As he spoke, Lin Qing raised his hand and tapped the center of eyebrows of Yan Lingji and Wuxuang Gui respectively. Two balls of light penetrated directly into the two people's eyebrows, forcibly helped them open their sea of consciousness, and transmitted the skills to them, helping them condense their own first trace of telekinesis before stopping. It saved them both a lot of time. Feiyan, who saw something was going on, was extremely envious. Before, she had purchased them from the group mall and cultivated them on her own. Is this telekinesis? Such a magical power that can easily interfere with reality. But the amount is so small, and the power is so weak. Yan Lingji immediately extended her telekinesis and controlled a palm-sized stone on the ground to fly up. While feeling magical, she also complained with some regret. Just be content. Lin Qing shook his head in amusement. Didn't I tell you? It's always like this in the beginning. Just practice and improve slowly. You have the basics of fire magic, and your mental strength is not weak, so you can easily achieve this level. Wuxuang Gui is far inferior to you. When Yan Lingji heard the sound, she looked and saw the Wuxuang ghost. Her face turned red, and she controlled a stone the size of a bird egg to float up. Poochie. Ha 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 ha. Wuxuang Gui, just forget it. You can take a break now. Yan Lingji burst into laughter and said, Hey hey. Wuxuang Gui quickly put away his telekinesis, raised his hand and touched the back of his head, smiled innocently and said, Actually, I think it's okay. Huh. Yan Lingji's eyes lit up when she heard this and she asked, Wuxuang Gui, have you become more fluent in your speech? Have you really become smarter? No way. Is the effect so good? It works wonders. Well enough. Wuxuang Gui nodded. I feel like I have grown a brain. It's true. Yan Lingji was now certain, and was happy for Wuxuang Gui from the bottom of her heart. That's great. Work harder to cultivate this telekinesis and become smarter. Good. Wuxuang Gui nodded without hesitation. I'll listen to you. In his heart, Yan Lingji is like a sister or even a mother, and whatever she says is what matters. She asked him to listen to Master Lin Qing, so he listened to Master Lin Qing. Of course, because of the spiritual method and because Lin Qing helped him open his sea of consciousness, he was also very grateful to Lin Qing. He decided that Lin Qing was the second most important person in his heart. Congratulations, Wuxuang Ghost. At this time, Lin Qing also said to Wuxuang Gui, just like Yan Lingji said, you should practice telekinesis well in the future and strive to complete your mind as soon as possible and become a normal person. Okay, Master. Wuxuang Gui nodded solemnly. I said. At this time, Feiyan, who had been watching the show, couldn't help but say, Brother Lin Qing. Your magic medicine NZT-50 can fully activate the brain and improve understanding, right? This medicine should have a miraculous effect on restoring Wuxuanggui's mind and understanding, right? If this medicine is not difficult to make, why not give him one? Of course, she herself really wanted it too. But she was embarrassed and couldn't bring herself to say it. Otherwise, I always feel that my relationship with Lin Qing is not pure. Bring utilitarianism. She was worried that this would affect her image and status in Lin Qing's mind. This is absolutely not possible. Not to mention that as they got along, her affection for Lin Qing grew stronger and stronger. Simply because of Lin Qing's identity as the group leader and his incredible luck, she also wants To have a good relationship with Lin Qing. Huh, if you hadn't told me, I would have almost forgotten. Lin Qing was stunned when he heard this, and he slapped his forehead and said suddenly, "It's true, then give it a try. This medicine is quite easy for me to make." As he spoke, Lin Qing directly took out 3 pieces of NZT-50 from the group storage space. Using telekinesis, he sent a piece to Fei Yan, Yanlingji and Wushwangui respectively and said, "Come, eat it and see." "Yes, master." Wushwangui was mentally handicapped, and when he heard Lin Qing's instructions, he grabbed the pill in front of him and swallowed it without hesitation. Instead, Yanlingji and Fei Yan hesitated when they saw the pills in front of them. Especially Fei Yan, she knew very well how precious the pill was. Although she was extremely eager in her heart, she didn't want to lose points in front of Lin Qing, so she forced herself to resist the urge to swallow it, looked at Lin Qing and refused. "Forget it, it's too precious. No merit, no reward. Master, Seeing this, Yanlingji also looked at Lin Qing hesitantly. Although she didn't know how precious this medicine was. But for Fei Yan to call it a miracle medicine and be so hesitant about it, its preciousness must definitely be far beyond her imagination.